And I do believe
we are live. All right,
Hey.
welcome back, everybody. We're going to do another Get to Know Gamer this week. And this week we have Lightsaber Samurai. And I love that name, man. That's a badass name.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
This has been, what, over a month in the making here? We kind of
Something
scheduled
like
it ahead.
least.
If not longer. If not
I
It was
think
a
it was
weird
longer than
story.
that. It was like, yeah, you guys hit me up at like the
I
end
was
of
on your
January.
live stream. I think I was on your live stream at the time.
Yeah, and we first talked about it. And then you guys hit me up on Instagram after that. I was like, yeah, by the way, like, yeah, so yeah, it's been a minute. And I said, like, yeah, man, just remind me because I'll probably forget. But actually, I was anticipating it. So I actually didn't forget. I've been waiting on it. So yeah, finally got out here.
All right, for everybody out there that may be new to Lightsaber Samurai, we're going to give him a chance right now to kind of promote his YouTube channel there. So maybe you guys want to jump over and check him out after the live stream. That'd be great.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Absolutely appreciate that.
Take it over, buddy. Tell us about your channel.
Yeah, man. So Lightsaber Samurai is the name of the channel. I primarily talk about retro video games. I focus more on 5th gen and up. And because I didn't play a lot of 4th gen stuff, and we'll talk about that later on. But yeah, I do a lot of that. Also, I'm a photographer and filmmaker kind of on the side. So I do some videos, talk about gear and cheap ways that you can improve your own videos if you guys are content creators, which most of you are. So yeah, so if you guys are into just the retro video game scene, or if you're looking at some tips to kind of spice up and level up your content creation, then yeah, definitely check me out. I'd love to have you over there, and I'm always down for taking suggestions. So that is Lightsaber Samurai in a nutshell.
And I think we found you.
I found you. I think it was it was an Xbox video, but it may have been a hidden gem video or something like that. Probably along that line, where it was all Xbox stuff there. So
we were looking at doing more Xbox content, and we were trying to check out to see, okay, what's out there, what's going on,
what am I missing?
What are we missing? And your channel came up, and we were happy that we found you. We have a couple people in the chat too. Waves and Games had me nervous for a sec. He was like, "It's time. Where are you guys?" So when you guys saw me grab my phone earlier, I was like, "Oh shit, where are we?" But we're here. So he had to do a refresh. Iowa Retro Gamer Dad saying, "Hey, what's up to everyone too?" Generation Pixel in the house. Oh my God, 1 a.m. there.
Wow.
Yeah, he told me, man, hey, Generation Pixel, I appreciate you staying up because you hit me up earlier today and said, man, it's going to be 1 o'clock, but I'm going to try to make it. I appreciate you staying up, man. I appreciate that.
Do you know what we're going to do? And I was talking about this.
It's in the works.
In the works. Yeah. We feel bad that our UK...
The viewers in the UK have to stay up so damn late to watch us. We're actually going to try and schedule some people on Get to Know Gamer from the UK. Yeah. So we'll do it more of an afternoon special for us.
Exactly.
But it'll be more like this time of night for them, I think, right? So
yeah, any of our UK friends, if you guys are interested in being on, hit us up somewhere like in the... I'm on every social media. You'll find me. You'll find me.
Very specific.
Yeah. We have Alex in the house, and that's our son, LOL Zomatic. He's changed his name every other day. I swear to God. Derek Daniels. Hey, you guys. Oh, sorry. My computer's far away. How you guys feel about the PS3 and PS4 battery issues that more? We should. Why am I not popping this up on the screen like a fool?
There you go.
There. Be useless consoles once the battery dies. That scares me.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm assuming they're going to come up with some kind of fix. I don't know. I really don't know much about the topic. Yeah. This is actually the first I've heard about it, to be quite honest with you. And you're scaring me.
You're scaring us,
Yeah, it's a thing that's going around. I guess there's like a CMOS battery is what it's called. And basically when it dies on PlayStation 3 consoles, when it dies, you won't be able to play digital content. You'll only be able to play physical games. And on the PlayStation 4, when that thing goes out, then you can't play anything.
Anything?
On the console. Yeah, it's basically.
Well, you'll have the PS5 at least. The PS3 is the one that scares me because there's backwards compatibility for it right now.
And then the store is going away too. Yeah. So,
and that's the thing. Like a lot of people are snatching up digital content because of that. And now with this new issue that's popping up, like
I just did it. I watched Gaming Off the Grid's video here earlier this week or last week there, and then I jumped on. I think I bought 4 games.
Yeah.
So, yeah. There's definitely a few you need to get. Like,
for sure. We have 8-bit saying the same thing. Where'd it go here? Look at me. Tech issues already.
Jen, I
followed Lightsaber because of his badass name.
Hey.
And we have Hank's Retro Room. What's up, guys? Looking forward to this. Thanks so much, Hank.
Thanks for joining.
Waves and Games. Talking to someone. Retro Joe. What the hell is up? The ceiling.
Hey, Retro Joe. What's happening, man?
Dad jokes. Marcus Bolt. Hey, guys. Cheer. Hey, Marcus. Denver Gamers in the house.
Hey, Denver.
Hey, Denver Gamer. We got Mark Stanek. Hey, everyone. Hey, Mark. Loco Maverick.
Glad to see you.
Hey, Loco. And yes, Lord. Okay, watch this. Lord Zabulba. What's up, everyone?
Hey, got it right.
I was glad to make this one.
It took a couple months.
It took a couple
AKA
months.
Andre.
Andre? Is that Lord Zabulba?
Yeah, Lord Zabulba. That's my guy right there. We grew up together.
Yeah? Never.
Yeah, I'm the one. Yeah, I put him on to you guys.
Oh,
never, not even once did he try to give me an out with Andre. He's just like, you'll learn how to pronounce it eventually.
Sorry, man.
Before we hit any more comments here, because I know what it's like, our typical tradition, I'm going to ask, we're going to go around the table here, and everybody jump in the comments.
Yeah.
What are you guys drinking? I don't know if Lightsaber, I don't know if you're drinking anything tonight, but you know us, sir. I'm always drinking beer, but so I got a cream ale from our, is it a local brewery?
I know.
You picked it up at the liquor store, I don't know.
Somewhere. I think it is a local brewery, actually.
I can't remember where.
You like it. That's
You're
why
drinking
I picked it
water.
up. I'm drinking water right now because I had a big meal. I can't do it at the moment.
I've got the red Solo cup, a hood classic, if you will. I'm drinking a very fine 1998 vintage Colt 45
Ooh.
No, I'm
That's
just kidding.
All right. I'm
drinking water. I don't.
Cool earlier, and we had some.
Did your audio cut out?
No, I think it was us.
Oh,
there we go.
Try it again. Jen's kicking around.
We had some boxed wine earlier.
That's homemade wine.
Homemade boxed wine. It was in a box in a bladder in the fridge that's been there forever.
It was delicious.
It was delicious. I was a little white girl wasted for a while, so I'm like, I gotta stop. We gotta do this thing tonight.
Say, like, damn, wine come in a box now? Like,
and I guess the game that we're playing, I've been playing Zelda 2, kind of picking and poking away at it there on the NES the last 2 weeks. But we've been playing Diablo 3 on the Xbox Series X.
Right on.
Yeah, we're loving that. That's awesome.
And I've been playing the shit out of Days Gone.
Days Gone, yeah.
Like, I think I played it yesterday from the time I got off work at 4:30 until like 12 o'clock.
I got a question here for everybody in the chat, or you, Lightsaber.
Right.
Dennis just started playing Days Gone, and he was comparing.
Well, he got the digital one.
He got the free digital one. Now we have the physical copy, and we're playing it on a PS4 Pro. He's playing on the regular PS4 Slim or whatever it is. And he said it's still glitchy as hell. It's just cars with like rocks and stuff like that. I watched you play, and it's fine.
I haven't had any glitches except for the one that we encountered before, but other than that, it's been perfect.
It's weird though.
Yeah.
All right, Waves and Games, you stepping out. Appreciate it, man. I'll catch you later, boss. Stepping out with life on the Saturday night.
Woo!
We
have Menace XP saying cheers as well, and Garage Gamer. Hey. Lauren Sewell saying, this is the reason why Jim Ryan is about to really hurt the PlayStation brand, so I recommend that everyone just find his Twitter page and let him know about what he's doing wrong. Dear Jim Ryan.
Who's that?
I don't know, but we're about to find out.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if that's something that they could fix with like a firmware update, or well, since it's a physical issue, I don't know if there's a way they can put firmware that would allow you to back that stuff up somehow before the battery goes out, and then you can, just.
I know.
I have no idea how it works.
I haven't read up about. I've seen a couple of videos about it, but I don't know too much about it. If the battery's something you can just replace, because the Sega Saturn kind of had the same thing. You kind of had that watch battery in it, and if your stuff was anything you had saved on there when the battery died, like that was it. You could get another battery and replace it. All that stuff would be gone. So
all that stuff would be gone.
I wonder
your stuff up.
Just trying to replace a battery, as soon as you disconnect it, I think you
right.
Yeah.
So
I think so. Retro Joe's Entertainment says that digital that's exactly it.
That's kind of how I feel about it.
Yeah, but if there's no other way to get them, then kind of
and that's the thing. Like there's I mean, I don't like collecting digital, but especially like on the PlayStation 3, like for sure I downloaded The Misadventures of Tron Bond because I'm not paying $500 for a physical copy of that.
No.
I know.
It's
I will get it for $4.99 on the PlayStation Store all day.
Yeah, and there's just some things like that you can't ever justify.
You can't justify that.
Right. I can't.
No.
I don't know how many people could. But.
No. Never Enough Text saying, "What up, everyone?
What up?
Hey."
I'm just looking at the Grass Gamer said next week they're gonna shut down the PS4 store.
Mark Stanek saying he's drinking some Angry Orchard. Retro Joe's saying a grapefruit hazy IPA. That sounds delicious.
I love grapefruit.
Mm-hmm.
Inexplicably.
Inexplicably, you love grapefruit. Now I love Rattlers.
Grapefruit is so bitter. Like,
I
have a crazy sweet tooth, but I don't know. Grapefruit just be slapping to me. My girlfriend, she gets on me all the time about it. She's like, "Why do you like that so much?" Like, I don't know.
You just don't know.
It just be hitting. I don't know what it is. Like,
I like grapefruit Rattlers. I like it.
Yeah, I know you do.
Yeah, I love them. Alex is drinking water. That a boy. Because you're not allowed to drink anything else. An old fashioned, some Jim Beam.
Jim Beam.
Vodka, ginger ale, splash of cranberry. I think that's what cran is. Yeah.
That sounds
okay.
Yep.
I'm gonna stop it right here for a sec and let's move on to a game because
it's
already gotten out of control.
First game. All right. Okay, well, let's see. For me, the first game, again, so just to tell you guys a little bit about my background, I was mentioning this backstage a little bit, but so I'm 35, right? So most people my age, they have a lot of nostalgia for fourth generation. That's 16-bit stuff. So, your Super Nintendos, your Genesis, things like that. We got the NES in 1990. So my dad copped it cheap because the Genesis was out and the SNES was on the way. So he got a good deal on that and got that for us for Christmas. But we were super poor, like growing up, all through the 90s, just struggling. And so we never really got the Genesis, the Super Nintendo. I would play certain games over like a cousin's house or things like that, but we never owned it. So we had the NES in the house until we got the PlayStation in Christmas in 98. So for me, it was a couple of games on the Nintendo, but mostly I played handheld throughout the 90s. So the Game Boy Pocket, I always had the Game Boy Pocket on me. I had the Brick for a while too. The Game Boy Color came out, was crazy, but it's still, I was rocking that and the Glowworm for a while. That was my setup of choice. For me, really, it kicked off, when we got the PlayStation. And so for me, that is a system that really defines me as a gamer. And so a lot of memories with that, including the first one on the list here. So the original Metal Gear Solid. Metal Gear Solid. That is a fantastic game. This was the first time we got introduced to Solid Snake in 3D. Hence Solid in the name. Hideo Kojima said that he used the name Solid because that was the first time I was making the jump to 3D. For me, it was everything like we saw from like, you know, action games were huge at the time, like whether it was like the Die Hards or Terminator 2, Demolition Man, it was all of those and a little James Bond spy action, all of that rolled up into one. Solid Snake is a fantastic protagonist. The voice acting was on point. The writing was good. The graphics at the time were fantastic. So I was blown away. When we got the PlayStation in Christmas in '98, it came with 2 games, which I didn't grab, but Ninja Shadow of Darkness and Tomb Raider 3, I talk about them on my channel all the time. So we had those 2 games. Then we had a demo disc that had Metal Gear Solid on it. And man, we played the heck out of that so much that the disc like stopped reading. Like we burned.
Really?
Oh, really?
Oh man, like every which way we could play the games, speed runs to get to the DARPA chief, all that stuff. Like, so definitely for me, the first game is the you know, Metal Gear Solid on the PlayStation. It's not too expensive of a game. I think it's still, you know, you can still get it for under 50. This one is expensive though. The remake, Solid Snake, the Twin Snakes.
Yeah,
and I don't know if you can see that flex right there, but that $3.99.
$3.99.
Is that what you got it for?
That's what I got it for. I found it at the Goodwill.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome.
Flipping. And I was
did not get ours for $3.99
and all that. Like I was like, holy man,
yeah, that's awesome.
That was a start the car moment.
Yeah. I don't even like the GameCube like that, but that, I mean, my GameCube collection is pretty small. I got most of the games on there are heavy hitters, but that one,
I'm the same way.
Metal Gear Solid is just fantastic. Like, so that's definitely my first game, and probably my most influential game overall. So,
for someone that's not played it before, I know, like, does it still hold up?
Absolutely.
Because it's on my list of games that I know that are iconic to most people.
You would like it because it's stealthy.
I love stealth stuff. Like it, I don't know. I think that's why I really like Days Gone, because I have to run around and be stealth and stuff. And you hate stealth.
Like I said, there's still issues like graphics wise, you know. Honestly, I would say that it's aged better than most 5th generation games, right? The character models are definitely blocky, their mouths don't move when they talk and things like that. But everything from like the level design and just the you know, like the weather effects, the enemy AI, like was crazy at the time. The fact that they reacted to sight and sound the way they did. You leave footprints in the snow and they can see your footprints, like, whoa, where did these come from? And they'll follow the snow, the footprints in the snow back to you, and you can knock on walls and they'll like,
that is very cool.
So a lot of things, you know, like that hold up very well. The story definitely holds up very well. And the gameplay is still very fun as well.
Yeah.
So
that's what they had to do. Like, most of those PS1 generation games, like they had to rely more on the story and the music, because we still weren't kind of all the way graphics wise there. And I think I'm going to have to play it. I have such a hard time to get away from modern consoles. I don't know what it is, especially the PS4. I'm just like,
girl, holy
the PS4 is such a fantastic system, though. It's literally the second coming of the PS2. Like, there's so many killer exclusives on the system. Like, the PS4 is gaudy. Like, I love the PS4. And honestly, I'm just now collecting for the PS4. I've spent the last probably year and a half, 2 years really hitting the 7th generation, which is good because
it's going to go up.
PlayStation 3 games that are shooting up in price, I already got them. And I paid pennies on the dollar because while everybody was playing PS4, I was going back and grabbing all that stuff. So now people are rushing to go buy that stuff, and I'm pretty much done. There's like a couple of games that left that I need to get, but games like 3D Game Heroes, Lollipop Chainsaw, like all that type of stuff, and Puppeteer, all that stuff. I already got all that stuff, like, and got it for like $5 a piece type of deals back in the day. So yeah, for sure.
I'm looking at the chat here and I see a couple more people jumped in. We got Modane Design, we got Hollywood Polo. We have, if I miss anybody, just like say hey again, Gib84. And a lot of stuff I'm missing again. Concept. Oh, we got a new one here. Concept Reese, I have a YouTube-based question. I have a gaming channel, 400 subs, but I have started to stray into other things, boxing and boxing games. Do you recommend covering 2 areas, or is it taboo? Well, you cover 2 areas.
You cover, yeah.
Yeah, I do. And honestly, like, it's a tough one because I honestly ask myself that question all the time.
Yeah.
I was just in my last live stream. I mentioned that, like, I asked my viewers, like, do you guys think I should split and do a YouTube channel just dedicated to photography and filmmaking stuff, or do you like to see both? Like, for me, when I talk about my photography and the filmmaking, when I talk about gear and stuff, I try to keep it in the realm of this is what I use as a video game YouTube content creator. So I'll talk about when I was talking about the Young UO Light, like, oh, if you're in a small room and this is a good one to use if you're live streaming at a desk or something like that. And so I try to keep it, I try to put it in that scope when I'm talking about these things. But yeah, honestly, I probably would have grown faster if I had just stuck with retro video games. But at the same time, I don't have the brain power right now to run 2 channels. So, I mean, if I want to talk about it,
I think it's a lot of work.
So, yeah, it is. So, I mean, I'm just going to, you know, grow the slow and steady route and just, you know, do it that way. So,
I think it's the right way.
My question to you is how long has your YouTube channel, like, you know, been around? Like, how long have you, like, since you really start like focusing on it? Because that's another thing too. My YouTube channel is like 5 years old, but I really didn't take it serious until the beginning of 2020.
Yeah.
And so in January of 2020, I had 300 subs. And so I've got my last 1,000, like, you know, in the last year, like, you know, after a year of really focusing and really hitting it, regardless of the fact that I was doing 2 types of content on the same channel. I would say don't do more than that. You know, you don't want it to be like a variety thing. Not until you build up enough of a rapport with your audience. And then it gets to the point where they come for the content, but they'll stay for you. So, you know, once you get to a point where you gotta, you know, I've got a few subscribers where it doesn't really matter what I'm talking about. If I upload a video, they'll at least
they're there for you.
Just because it's me. So
exactly.
Yeah, once you get to that point, then it doesn't really matter. And I would say if you want to talk about both, then just do both, man. And just as long as you're genuine and you keep working hard, it'll grow. It might not grow as fast, but it's inevitable. You know, I tell a lot of people on YouTube, the only way you lose is if you give up. You know what I mean?
So, and Modine's saying the same thing. He said he thinks it only works if you're passionate.
Took the words out of my mouth. I was just about to say that. As long as you are passionate about what you're doing,
absolutely,
people will find you and they'll follow and they'll watch.
Oh,
and it's basically people that have the same, I don't know, like hobbies. Like for us, it's a hobby, right? The same interests.
We do game. We don't split too far, but we'll do gaming and then we'll do some DIY stuff within that realm.
Right. Yeah, it was in the game room, and then she does art for the game room. She's had like art videos on there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But you know what? When you do your photography stuff, like that's something I'm passionate about too. So I really enjoy it. Scott's not as passionate about it, but you've already hooked him with you. So that's it's exactly what you're saying. It might not be everybody's cup of tea to do that, but if they like you as a person, they're going to watch your content because they want to see what you're doing. Like, and if you're passionate about it, they're going to enjoy it as well.
Yeah, and the whole like photography, like video making, like side, like my passion from that is kind of a recent phenomenon. Like I really, a couple of years ago, I was trying to get serious about making a YouTube channel. And so I found my first camera, which is a Canon T5i, found that in a pawn shop for like $300. And I didn't have the money to get it, but I had enough to put a down payment. And so I made payments on it until I was able to get it home. And so I got it home, turned it on, and I had no clue what to do with it. My videos were still really trash, like despite the fact that, oh man, I'm not shooting on my cell phone anymore. I moved to a camera, but why do my videos still look like crap? And so my brother, Aaron, shout out to my brother, he sends me a video by a content creator named D4 Darius. And he's like, hey, this guy does camera stuff. Like, you should watch him for some tips. And watching him turned into watching Think Media and Peter McKinnon and Maddie Hapoyan. Like, you know, shout out, you know, the Canadian, you know, content creators in the photography space. And so watching their videos, like, D4 Darius mentions the 50-50 rule. So 50% of the time you watch the skill, watch somebody else doing the other 50%, you go out and do it. So I watch a video on how to shoot slow-mo, and then I go out and shoot slow-mo, watch one on B-roll, go out and do B-roll, one on exposure triangle, whatever the case. And so basically I tried to redesign my channel. Okay, like basically like if Peter McKinnon or Matty Hapoya were doing a video game channel, what would it look like? And so then I really started to focus on.
That's a great way to look at it.
Yeah, and I've been meaning to ask you guys, like, since because I'm geeking out about cameras now, what do you guys use for your setup? You guys,
I have no idea.
Nikon, right?
Yeah, Nikon D7500, and it was the same thing for me. I had no clue about the golden triangle with your aperture and your you know what I mean. I had no idea about that, so it was something I had to learn too. And I started out photography, so when I moved into videography, it really hit me like a ton of bricks. Like I was lost again, so I had to figure it all kind of back out from that end. Although video is just like a series of pictures, really, but it was still. I still had to figure things back out, and I still feel like I'm learning stuff about it.
I feel like there's something new there every video.
I know, it's crazy. We have old ass retro gamer in. Yo, hey, what's up? Old ass
retro gamer.
I love it. Peter says my B-roll is full on make art now. Daniel Schiffer, is it, or
Daniel Schiffer? Yeah, make art now. Yeah. Absolutely. That's my guy right there. Yeah, definitely someone I follow in the space as well. And he's got a crazy setup. He is a photographer and videographer, but he's also an inventor. So he makes contraptions like in his game room, or in his studio. Like he was featured on Potato Jet's channel, who's another content creator in that space, and he has this like device on the ceiling where he's got his lights rigged up so he can just basically move his light, and he's got stuff voice command and like all kinds
smart.
Like, like it's insane. Like he's got a smart studio that he basically built and patented all these like different contraptions to make his studio
make it work for him.
It's insane. Like, so yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and Waves and Games, that's like Waves and Games. That he's somebody I definitely watch, and I can tell that he's with the program because I love the stuff he does. And he's still shooting on his cell phone, but his quality is so phenomenal.
Yeah,
his knowledge of the basics is out of control, and so definitely he's the best YouTuber in the space. Like for shooting, like if you're still shooting on your cell phone, you definitely got to watch Waves and Games and see how he does it because nobody does it better than him. I made a video a while ago, a tutorial on how to make videos on your cell phone, and it was trash. Like it still wasn't comparing to what Waves and Games is doing on his channel. So it's wild.
It's crazy what you can do with a cell phone if you really know how to use it.
Absolutely.
Cameras are getting better and better.
Their cameras are getting better and better all the time.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Like our new phones can record video at 4K, can they not?
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, like I said, my phone is it can shoot up to 8K. It's crazy.
And the major thing is still ghetto cell phone shooting.
Still ghetto cell phone shooting. Hey man, that's all right. When I started my YouTube channel, I was shooting on a BlackBerry phone. And when I started,
amazing.
Yeah, when I started in 2016, my phone was already 4 years old. So I was shooting on a BlackBerry from 2012 when I started in 2016, and the quality was worst videos you'll ever see on the internet. But,
do you know what? But I think everybody thinks that too when they go back and look at their videos. They're like, "Sweet Jesus, what were we doing?"
Yeah, and like I said, I keep my videos up. Like I know some people take them down like after a while, but I keep mine up because I like to go back and see how far I've come. Like
you've taken them down?
No. I'll never take videos down. I don't care how bad. I don't care if like 10 years from now, people are like, well, you've got this many subscribers. Why wouldn't you just take the ones down? Because that's where it started. Yeah. That's the legacy. Why would I take things away?
See how we've learned and adapted over the years.
And that's something for me to look back at when we're like 70-year-olds in our wheelchairs in the home. We're like, gonna watch us when we were younger. I don't know.
I don't want to sit there and lie to people either and make them think that like my YouTube channels always look good. Like, no. Like
it's a learning process. Do we want to hit another game? Or
yeah, let's get caught up in the chat. Yeah, I'm pretty much caught up.
Yeah, I see a lot of people like talking to each other right now.
Yeah. And saying old videos can still help people, and that's absolutely true.
Oh yeah.
That is absolutely true. Absolutely true.
And then people that are coming into your channel new, it's nice for them to see where you started.
Johnny Chase is in there.
And it's nice for new content creators, period, like to see like some of their favorite YouTubers and see, you know, a point where they were still trying to learn and figure it out as well.
Exactly.
I'm gonna talk about this NES game. This is the only NES game I got. Like I said, I do got a bunch of Game Boy and some Game Boy Advance stuff. But
yeah, I just want to say hi to Johnny Chase there. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, Johnny Chase, what's going on? Welcome to the stream, sir. All right, this game here, this is not like the most fantastic game on the system or anything like that. I don't know. Skater Die is there. It is.
Oh, there we go. Skater Die.
I know my covers.
So yeah,
know your covers.
Yeah, this is not a great game, but one thing that it does have is the joust mode, and the joust game in Skater Die is so addictive. Me and my play that all the time. My older brother in particular, he is a poor winner, and you know, like he would just sit there in school, me and my younger brothers all day, and he would play this song by Tupac Shakur. It's You Can't See Me. It was off his All Eyes on Me album.
Awesome.
And he would just play that loudly while he beat us in joust. And it's just like, so I don't know. I gotta hit him up, man. I gotta bring the NES over his house, and we having that rematch. Okay. So Michael, if you see me,
you know what?
Watching this, we having that rematch, son. Okay.
Have you
live stream that, boy?
Have you beat him yet in the game?
I haven't, but you know what? You know what, Michael? I'm not a kid anymore. Okay. I'm not a kid anymore. Okay. Okay. This is why I do this for real. Okay. I got my own YouTube channel where I talk about games. Okay. I'm doing this.
This is a live stream. This feels like a live stream in the future.
Oh, I hope so. I hope so.
All right. Yeah, it might have to be, man. It might have to be. I'll invite him over for something mundane, like because he runs a nonprofit organization now. So I'm like, I'll call him. I'm like, oh yeah, man, let's take some new headshots and do that stuff. You know, let me pimp out your LinkedIn and da 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 da. And then I get him over here, and I'm like, bam, Skater Die. Then I'm low key afraid though that he might still have it. It might be he might beat me.
You know what? Do you know what's awesome? If he beats you on the live stream, just delete it.
Right. That's right.
Like never happened. There's no proof.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's like you and Dennis with hot shots.
Yeah, but I'm still a champion of hot shots. Skater Die and Skier Die was my jam on DOS.
Skier Die was cool too.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, on DOS.
We got Pierre Beliveau. Bunch of numbers. Hey, are you guys getting the Zelda graded? Nice pickup. Did they have any other sealed games with this one?
No.
I don't make it down to the parlors often.
That was the only sealed game.
Yeah,
there.
That was insane that you guys got.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I really think I really want to consider like grading it, but I'm still we had somebody reach out to us in one of the comments there that we're gonna have to like figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. It's like sending your child on a plane to go see their grandparents. That's how I feel about sending this game in the mail. Be like, I love you. Please come back.
I hope you come back.
Yeah, man. That's dicey, man. I have something like that. I remember I bought a game years back. It was Rival Schools on the PlayStation 1, and I bought that off of eBay, and the game just never showed up. And everybody was saying like they confirmed that the person has sent it to me, and UPS or it was USPS. I was like, hey, look, man, we left it with the manager, and the manager's like, we never got it, and it was just a bunch of back and forth at the apartment I was staying at the time. I'm like, man, I just had to take that L. Luckily, at the time, Rival Schools was only like a $25 game, so I ended up getting it again later, and now it's much more expensive. So I still ended up paying like. The second time I bought it was like $30, so Yeah.
Okay. But that's frustrating to pay for a game
always
and never
worried
get it.
about big purchases like that. Ugh.
Do you know what? On the flip side, because I've been looking into maybe possibly selling here and there on eBay. On the flip side, I always worry that somebody's going to get the game, trade it out, and say it's that game was scratched or that it was cracked and they had a I'm like, no, I know what I sent you, but you never know what people can do on the other end.
Yeah, man. People are
send it bulletproof.
I don't know if anybody else on the stream has dealt with that, or I've
had an issue on eBay before where I ordered Streets of Rage 3. They sent me Streets of Rage 2, pissed me right off, and it was like an argument, messaging back and forth there. And he's okay, well, if you send it back to me, I'll refund you. I'm like, okay, well, you're gonna pay for the cost of shipping? Yeah, I'll pay for it. All right, fine. So I shipped it, and then he's like, well, you paid too much for shipping. I'm like, well, I wanted to make sure it had tracking on it so that I had proof that it got to you, so that you couldn't say, well, it never got to me.
Yes, exactly. So he wouldn't pay for all the shipping. He wouldn't pay
for all the shipping, but you know what? eBay stepped up and paid for the rest of it.
Yeah, they did.
So.
Right on. Yeah, see, that's dirty.
It is, and it happens all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny Chase saying your call-out game is real. Let's go. Dan said grudge match live stream.
That would be awesome, man. That would be awesome.
That would be.
You gotta do it.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to do it. We'll definitely have to do that in the future.
Old ass retro gamer saying get to practice it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I put it in every once in a while, periodically. Like my brother Aaron, I can beat him now. I got another brother, Marcus. He lives in Missouri, so he's in another state. But next time I see him, he's catching it too. And if I can beat those two, then I'll be ready for Michael.
All right. So. It's like part of like training there, right?
It's like training.
You gotta make your way up to the champion.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's Retro Gamer saying Skater Die 2 is one of his favorite NES games ever played.
Skater Die 2 is fantastic. It's a hard game though. They
don't even know if I played that.
Yeah, it's basically they turn it into like an action adventure game / it's got some RPG elements in there. It's actually a really fun game, but it is hard.
Yeah.
And I've got it somewhere too, but I really did like Skater Die 2. Absolutely.
I'm gonna have to try it.
Andre, how about another Tekken Tag rematch? You got some honor to try to win back.
Well, I got it right here. I got it right here. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. Okay. I was getting to that part. Because me and Andre, like I said, when we were in high school, he had that you had that truck, that 8070 Zuzu. And we used to sit at the lunch table and flip a coin. Like, okay, heads, we can jip, tails will stay in class or whatever. And we flip the coin that lands on heads. Okay, best 2 out of 3. And we keep flipping it until it was in our favor that we go jip. And then we go to his house and play either Tekken Tag Tournament, we play Dragon Ball Final Bout, or we would play Dynasty Warriors 3. One of those 3 games, in particular Tekken Tag Tournament, we used to play this game 4 games. And so we used to play this game and put our games on the line, and gamble them away and see who really had the skill.
High stakes.
So, yeah, we were playing games back in the day. So yeah, man, I'm ready, man. You can get that work next time I see you.
You guys aren't going to bet games though again.
That's another live stream right there, man. That's just, yeah.
We're like, I'm writing them down. Live stream with Skater Die. Live stream with Andre. Tekken.
Lord Zabalba, you're never going to be called that again. It's always going to be Andre.
Nope, it's Andre. Hey, all right, look, man, I'm putting it on the table, okay? Okay.
Oh, what is that?
I'm putting it on the table. No, I'm just kidding. Don't
See, the beauty of this is I can edit it later.
Yeah, edit
that part out.
I'm just kidding. Taking that
out. Yeah, man. But yeah, man, good times. Yeah. Tekken Tag Tournament, since we talked about, like, fantastic game. It was like the first game released on the PlayStation 2 in North America. And I mean, Tekken had always looked fantastic. Tekken 3 was one of our favorite games as well. But Tekken Tag Tournament, and that was one of the cool things about going from 5th to 6th generation. I didn't feel that so much moving from the PlayStation 4 to the PlayStation 5, but going from the PlayStation to PlayStation 2, it felt like an
it was a big leap.
Experience. Like it felt like we're playing a next gen game. Like I remember these PlayStation 2 games, they look like the CGI cutscenes on the PlayStation 1, you know, where they, you know, have the nice graphic, you know. And I'm like, man, this almost looks like that. Like the games look so good to me at the time in Tekken Tag Tournament, just the fluidity of the animations. And Namco was always about that when it came to their fighting games. Soul Calibur was no exception. Like Soul Calibur and Soul Blade, even on the PlayStation 1, those games look fantastic. Yeah. And so, yeah, a lot of hours put in Tekken Tag Tournament, and I unlocked everything on it. And I was super good at Tekken Bowl. Tekken Bowl, if you play as Jack and Yoshimitsu, like I bowled a 300. Like I bowled a perfect game with Jack and Yoshimitsu once. So
that's awesome.
Like, Tekken Tag Tournament was one of my favorite games. The music was great too. Like had that techno style soundtrack. Like it was so nice to play that game. Like, but yeah, we definitely, me and what's the other guy? Kyle, Andre. You remember Kyle? He stayed down the street too. He was getting in on that. I remember. And yeah, we was having Tekken Tag tournaments.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's
what I missed from not having
like
those gaming experiences when I was younger, because I don't have all these memories. All mine are like newer.
I used to have the wrestling tournaments there with the for PS2, like Here Comes the Pain and Shut Your Mouth, SmackDown games. And we'd have 6 guys, and we hooked the multi-tap up, and it was just awesome.
We moved into we bought our very first house young. We were like, let's get out of this renting game. Let's buy a house. So I think I had just turned 22, maybe 21, 22.
I don't know if you were that, Jen.
I don't even know if I was that.
I think I was 22.
Scott's birthday was coming up the next month because we moved into our house in February. So I asked his friend, what should I get him for a sound system? So he helped me out. We figured out a sound system. And the night we moved into the house, we set up the speakers, and they had a huge wrestling
tournament there. That thing was just blasting.
Oh yeah, I don't know how.
I'm sure the neighbors hated me.
Yeah, like great, these guys move in. Yeah, we had a blast. It was a lot of fun. But I wish I would have been more into gaming back then, because I would have grabbed the controller and played too.
I would have whooped your ass.
I just went in the bedroom and hung clothes in the closet. I'm like,
for Alex, if he's still in the stream there, that's the one game he can't beat me on.
No,
he can't come. Yeah, he beat me on everything else there, but put the SmackDown and PS2 there.
Yeah,
old man will school you.
We have Retro Mikey in the chat saying, "Cowbunga, everyone." We also have a few other people talking too. We got Loco. I know I said hi earlier. This is why I record myself packing it, so the condition is clearly visible. If it's a console, take pics of serial numbers. Okay, that's about the game there.
Yeah.
I love this name.
Something like that.
Corona in a can. I like it. Do you guys collect games that are greatest hits copies, or wait and go for the regular copy of the game?
I try, but depending on how expensive it is, I will grab the greatest hits copy and get my wife to print me a new label so that when it's on the shelf, it doesn't drive me fucking crazy.
Yes. So that would never be something we would try to pass by.
I just stick the new label over the top, and I put it in a green case, and then it goes up there so that it doesn't stand out like a sore thumb. If people have seen my game room, like I have the length of the room, one shelf in the back that's all Xbox.
All Xbox.
So if there was gray ones in there sticking out, I don't know if I'm OCD or what, it would just drive me crazy. But we actually picked up Silent Hill 2. That's the greatest hits, and that's what we're gonna do.
Yes.
We got our local pawn shop there has a bulk bin, so I'll go buy a game for $2.
$2. Yeah.
Nice.
Take the case, and then we'll just reprint the cover there. What's the place we go to print?
Cover Art Project. I think Denver Gamer told us about that.
There, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it doesn't look quite perfect. Like you can pick it up and tell it's not the legit one, but when it's just sitting up there on the shelf, the spines at me,
it
doesn't drive me crazy.
Yeah.
The old ass retro gamer saying, I've had people try to scam me when I've sold something. One tried to get me to ship it to them early because their account was about to be suspended and I wouldn't get paid. That's it. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Just people out there like that. It drives me crazy. Retro Mikey said he had that happen before. They switched out a broken disc for a good one. I still had to take it back. eBay made me.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, that's tough.
It's super annoying.
Although I had one come to me, but it was like a $12 game. Yeah. And it wasn't in the proper case. It was a PS2 game. And it looked like somebody had stepped on it. And it was basically in an envelope. And the disc was cracked from the middle. And I just took pictures and I sent it to the guy. And he's, sorry, man, no problem there. And he just refunded the money.
Totally refunded the money.
Either way, I was like, well, it was only 12 bucks or whatever. But
Drinks and Games with Josh is in the house. Hey, how's it going? And let's see here. I'm getting behind on the chat again. We have 100 Coinstar just joined. Off topic. Love your channel.
Nice.
Thanks so much.
Thanks for joining.
Yeah, thanks for joining.
Appreciate you being here.
Yeah. And I think I'm almost caught up. I say that every time. I'm like, look at me getting all caught up. Nope, didn't happen. We went. And there we are. Oh, we do have another new person. Someone on Kijiji is impersonating Parlor Pawn and selling reproductions as original. Yeah, so this is someone obviously that's local in Moncton too, and that's one of the pawn shops we go to all the time.
Yeah, that's crazy. So they've been putting it out on their Facebook page, warning people that there's somebody that's impersonating them. And
exactly. Oh, Amanda. Hey, Amanda.
Hey.
And we got Scotty J Retro.
Scotty.
Yeah. And Modane saying neighborhood tournaments were the best.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they were.
Man, that's a good time. I can't even tell you how much fun I've
had.
Now
you're lucky to have a neighborhood tournament because nobody can get off their cell phones.
It's not the same anymore, right?
It's not the same.
Everybody games online. It's not the same.
Right.
It's not the same.
Gib wants to know, I've been playing a lot of 7th gen games. What's your favorite generation of gaming?
Ooh.
That's a tough one.
My favorite generation. I love the 7th gen. My favorite generation. It's tough, man. It depends on the day. It's either going to be 5th or 6th for me. I'm going to give a slight edge to the 6th generation because 5th generation, all I really played was PS1. I didn't care that much for the N64. I didn't get some heat for that. But, I mean, if, platformers were outside of platformers, there really wasn't much to be found on the N64. I mean, for real, if we're being honest, and I at the time I wasn't playing wrestling games. There are a lot of good wrestling games on the N64, but besides the wrestling games on the platform, I mean, if I, because I was into first person shooters, and I know they had GoldenEye, but I was heavily into Medal of Honor, and I was playing a lot of that. I was playing RPGs, like the N64 can't hold a candle in RPGs. Same thing with fighting games. I mean, they had Killer Instinct Gold, which I did like on the N64, but for every Killer Instinct Gold, the PlayStation had, Soul Blade or Tekken 3 or Turbo #1 or whatever the case. But that being said, I would give the edge to the 6th generation because unlike the 5th generation, I loved all the systems at the time. The Dreamcast was fantastic. The PS2 was great. The Xbox surprised a lot of people in being actually good. I remember when he announced the Xbox, and I remember he had The Rock. He had employed a lot. Like they were really trying to get people hyped for it. But a lot of people
just watched that not that long
trash ago. And Microsoft has no business in the gaming world. And I remember there was a lot of talk about that. And so they had to fight hard to get a foothold, which they never did in Japan, right? Like they sold 2 million units worldwide, and I think only 2 million sold in Japan. So, I mean, but Xbox was a fantastic system. The game, I liked it the least, but the GameCube still had a lot of great games on it. And so, for me, the 6th generation, because every company was on point, even though the Dreamcast dropped out early, it still has a fantastic library. It was still a great system. And so everybody was winning during that generation. The gamers were the biggest winners because you found great games on all systems. All systems had great exclusives. And it's a fantastic time. But so that's why I would give the edge to the 6th generation. but that's it for me. Favorite.
I'm in that same boat. It's really hard to pick because I have a lot of nostalgia for my NES there, and I had a Sega Genesis growing up. But if I had to pick one console to go with there, holy jumpins', I don't know, like probably my original Xbox, because
you've been playing that one a lot.
The more I play it, the more I love it, and I have such a huge library for it now, and it actually performed better in most games, I think, than PS2, right? And
absolutely, like when
it was a very underrated console.
Gotta get
version.
Yeah, the Xbox version had 480p. It broadcasts in 480p, which, the PlayStation, for the most part, they had a few games that were in progressive scan. It was like 1080i or 480i, which is interlaced. But the Xbox had the surround sounds. They had better sound, where PlayStation 2 was still using like Dolby Pro Logic 2, things like that. So, the built-in hard drive was also a huge advantage. Games like Halo wouldn't even be possible on the other systems. Utagi, which we were talking about earlier, has a fantastic feature where you guys have played the first one, right? So like how
Utagi?
I thought you said Halo. We were
Utagi. I'm on the hunt for those games.
Yes.
Fly around, like I will shoot a Hidden Gems episode like in the next week
awesome.
for Xbox, and I'll pick them both. And it's a cool feature where in Utagi, like you can throw enemies up through walls and destroy buildings. They're very destructible environments, and because of the hard drive, it was able to save that damage. So when you go back and replay that level, the level was destroyed just how you left it. Like things like that the Xbox do that the other systems couldn't. And so sure, when it came to multiplayer or multi-platform games, for the most part, Microsoft was the way to go, especially with first-person shooters, because I like the controller better for that, especially the S controller with those triggers. It felt really good, but for sure.
Jen, you're a PS4 girl all the way, right?
I can't help it. Every day of the week, I'm picking a PS4 game. Probably.
I can't get my TV back. I think you're
hoping I have to work tomorrow just so you can play a game on the TV. Yeah, because usually it's Scott on the CRT and me on the big screen. Drinks and Games with Josh, just saying 6 Gen. And
it's a great generation there. There's a ton of games.
Yeah,
and they were like still kind of there was always like a new idea for like games that coming out, like new mechanics and stuff like that, and it just like it was impressive.
Yeah, very innovative. It seemed like developers like had more free reign to do that, to come out with crazy ideas and just reinvent the wheel. But you don't see a lot of that these days. Like,
everything's kind of the same.
That's true. It's true. It's like movies nowadays too. Like you're like, this is stuff we watched.
They have a formula. They know what
years ago
makes the money, and they stick with that formula.
Yeah.
They won't venture too outside of the box.
No, but they're remaking a lot of movies too now. They're
remaking a lot of games.
Running out of a lot of ideas. You know what I mean? Yes. Here's our reminder to download those Vita and PS3 digital only games now. Yes. Absolutely.
I already did it.
Yeah. Loco saying every month or two, I used to throw a gaming party at my apartment. We had the projector hooked up and connected the Switch to it. Some Mario Kart 8. Oh, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That is awesome. Modan saying 5th gen for me, PS1, Sega Saturn had so much content.
I never had a Saturn.
I
never had a Saturn.
And is it Many 0013? Am I saying it right? Many. I'm that's what I'm going with. Is it just me or the PS3 price is taking off?
Yes. Because of us YouTubers that keep saying, buy it now before it gets expensive.
Well, we just switched everything over. We try to put all our games in an app, partially because it's nice to see what your collection's worth, but also for insurance purposes, if anything were to happen, we have like a log, right?
Check the app while I'm out looking.
Exactly. And so it's really useful. But I had put Splatterhouse on PS3 into it, and then I was like, oh my God, Splatterhouse is expensive.
What is it going for now?
It's going for about 80 now on price charting.
And Canadian.
I was shocked. I was like, we didn't spend that on it, did we?
Oh, no, I spent 20 or whatever on it there.
Yeah.
And that was expensive for PS3.
But yeah, that is one I am looking for PS3. And
everybody in the chat, what do you expect to get higher prices? PS3 or Xbox 360?
I'm thinking PS3.
PS3
me too. Yeah, me too. Even though the Xbox Series X, apparently they're pushing their backwards compatibility.
Yeah.
Right, and that'll definitely drive prices up for the 360. But
yeah. We have old ass retro gamer saying Sega Saturn's his jam. Amanda grew up on the NES, hard to beat retro.
Oh yeah.
And yes, Modan saying PS3 prices are going up because the online stores are closing. Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
Generation Pixel wants to know, question for Scott, when you're going to start playing RPGs.
I don't know if you consider Zelda 2 an RPG.
Yeah, we didn't open it.
No. I had a loose copy.
We have a loose copy.
Gotcha.
We're not crazy. Imagine. Can you imagine?
I've been humming and hawing for a while. Maybe I like action RPGs. You guys want to start recommending some of them there?
Yeah.
Turn-based. I think I really just got to get into more action RPGs first.
I think so.
Then find a turn-based that I'm gonna ease me into it.
I'm
looking at
commitment.
maybe Secret of Mana.
It
looks pretty good.
We have old ass retro gamer also saying third gen SNES Genesis. Was that third gen? We get so confused on the generations too.
Yeah, well, it goes Atari. I think it's Atari, NES.
Yeah. Drinks and games with Josh. But in the 6th gen, all 3 consoles were heavy hitters.
Yeah,
they really were.
You know what? It just depends on your age.
Yeah.
Whatever you're nostalgic for.
I think so.
Yeah.
Did you have something there you want to show us?
I was going to say, speaking of action RPGs, have you played Sudeki yet on the original Xbox?
No. Do we have it?
I want to say I don't have it. I don't think I have it.
It's a great game. It's super cheap. This game is fantastic, but it came out the same week as the original Fable, so no one played it.
Yeah.
No one played it.
Bad luck of the draw. That's a fantastic game, though. You pretty much get a party of 4. There's a guy with a sword. There's a girl who uses like claws type weapons. One that uses guns, and then another one who uses like magic with a staff. And it's awesome. Like you pull off a lot of cool combos. Kind of open world, kind of in the same way that Fable was. And I really like it. The guy with the gun, when you play as him, it switches into a first person shooter. And so you just rock it out like that. Like it's a fantastic game. I like Sudeki a lot, but it just got overshadowed. And like I said, I paid $4.99 for that copy, and I think even now it's going for like 10. So definitely,
shit. Yeah, I've definitely seen it there.
Yeah.
Well, we're playing Diablo 3. People consider to me that's RPG ish.
Yeah, it is.
It's a little bit grindy,
crawler style, like
dungeon crawler for sure. I'm loving that. That's
my god,
freaking cool.
So much fun.
So we're playing a 3-player. That's that's awesome.
It is awesome. Yeah. Scotty J Retro has questions. Says, "What was the first game you ever played that made you continue to play games?" It's really easy for me because
same answer for Jen. What's your favorite game?
No, but made you continue to play games. I got in a position where we did the gamer education because I hadn't been playing a lot of games, that I had to force myself to start. And the first game I played was Skyrim. So that kind of forced me, but I really enjoyed it. I was surprised by how much I enjoyed it. I couldn't use dual analog up till then. I was strictly a side scroller.
Yeah.
I never played through an actual, like I played Donkey Kong Country 2, and I played, some Mario games and stuff like that, but nothing that I was like, okay, well, now I got to continue to play. I forced myself to start playing, and then I can't stop.
All right. I know my answer is it's kind of, I hope it's a good answer here, but because I had my certain genres of games I always loved to play there when I was a kid. I love my beat 'em ups there, and like NES, you had your Jackal, you shoot 'em ups there, and And then I like my sports games. I was always into that kind of stuff, you know, Streets of Rage, and I'd always play hockey and stuff like that. So I would always play that stuff. But the game that made me want to try a lot more different games was Parasite Eve.
Yes.
Oh,
on PlayStation 1.
Great game.
Love that
great
game.
Series, and one that needs to come back. Like they
remake.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people are calling for a remake on that. I hear that all the time.
For sure.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. I think that would be awesome. I would love to play it. I haven't played the original one. I've watched Scott play it. I don't know what I like it. I enjoyed watching it, but I wasn't sure if I would enjoy playing it. I don't know what it was.
Played it again, like it was 20 years later. I played it like literally 20 years ago, and then like just last year I played it again.
Yeah.
There, and it still holds up to me anyway. It's that nostalgia.
That's another game that definitely holds up. Like
yeah,
for sure. For me,
that game there, you can keep playing over and over and over. I didn't mean to cut you off there, but you can.
Oh no, for sure.
Because your character just keeps leveling up their weapons.
Yeah,
you can carry that weapon over into the next game.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah, and it had that. The first one was the one that had like the tower that like you went through. I think like at the after you beat the game, you can do it or something like that.
Empire was it?
Was it 100?
Building?
Yeah, it was basically like the Empire State Building. Yeah, you go through the 100 floors. Like
a
friend of ours said he got to the 100th floor and died.
Oh,
and he was like, "Fuck this game, I'm done." He was just like, "I'm not doing it again." Yeah. So he never beat it. I've
never gone through the tower myself.
No.
Yeah,
maybe that's a challenge for you.
Maybe.
What was yours? Would you say?
Me, that's a tough one. Like.
It is a tough question.
It is. Like
my mom put me on the video games because we had the Atari 2600 in the house, and so I remember some of the earliest games I played were like Demons to Diamonds and like Hero and like Knight Rider and things like that. Yeah, and I was always just like, video games are cool, but it was, I think, like for me, it was when I got the Game Boy, like because that was the first system that was like mine. Before that, because I got 3 brothers, so it was always like we had to share and take turns and play until we died, and then pass the control, that sort of thing. And so I got a couple of Game Boy games in particular. I would say this is probably one of them. The ones here too. It's, if it'll focus, Final Fantasy Legend 2 on the original Game Boy, and that was a fantastic series of RPGs on the Game Boy. And I remember like, man, like those games, and then the Zelda Link's Awakening. And so playing those and that was another one actually I got from the Goodwill.
Oh, nice.
So that was another one I scooped up. But yeah, so those were the games like that I felt like they were just for me. They weren't games I was sharing with my brothers because like, you couldn't really play them like that. And like, it was
you couldn't get hooked on it.
My adventure. And so those were like my first experiences where I'm like, man, like I'm a gamer now, like type of deal. So so definitely it was with the Game Boy for me, I think, is when I made that transition to it just being something in the house that we played, like when we couldn't go outside, to where I would take it everywhere we went in the car, like to family barbecues and things like that. Yeah. As an adult, I don't have too much use for handhelds because I'm not really in that scenario.
Yeah.
So now I look for handhelds that I can play on my TV. Like if I can't cast it to my TV, then I don't like the 3DS and the DS. Like those seem like good systems, but you can't play those on your television that I know of.
I seen a video just maybe this morning. Mad Little Pixel did a video on. It's an adapter or a board. Like you literally take your Game Boy Advance, take it apart, take the board out, and then there's no soldering. It's like a ribbon wire. You hook it into this, and it consoleizes it.
Oh my god!
And it's HDMI to your TV, and it didn't look too bad at all. And I guess they're gonna make like a shell for it and everything. Like this is in the early stages of it. It looked like a cool idea.
Was that for Game Boy Advance or was that for DS?
Game Boy Advance. Yeah, Game Boy Advance. Yeah,
that's really cool.
Yeah, because now, like right now, I mean, I play my Game Boy stuff now on my Retron 5, and that works pretty good. I also have a Game Boy player too, but I haven't used it yet. So I got it.
Nice.
Like, yeah, I got it. I got the disc too. Like, I remember I got hooked up on this unit for like $40, like a couple of years ago.
Wow,
that's awesome.
That is awesome.
Can't find that now.
He didn't even know this was a part of it. He didn't even know this was a separate thing. He was just like, "Oh yeah, I'm selling this GameCube." He's like, "Yeah," it's like he's like, and it's got this like disc thing with it too. And I'm like, "Oh yeah,
funny looking GameCube."
Yeah, I was like, I will take that. Yeah, I'll take that off your hands for $40.
Yeah,
all day long.
So definitely, actually, I'm working on a video coming up between that and the Retron 5 to see which one plays Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance better. So
cool.
and I got a Game Boy player for the Super Nintendo, so I might throw that in the mix too and see where that goes. But yeah,
I like that idea. Yeah, that's a good idea.
How's your Retron 5 holding up? Mine is having hardware failure with the controller ports.
I haven't turned mine on in like a few months. It's kind of dusty for real right now.
Yeah.
The last I knew, like the controller is kind of it's hit or miss. It's starting to die on me. I have another one new in the box, and so I got a backup controller, and I don't know if there's a firmware update. Because the major problem with that is like it's nice because with the Retron 5 you got the extra slots for you can use your Super Nintendo controllers or whatever, but I found that when I plug in my Super Nintendo or my Genesis controllers that I can't play Game Boy games with them. I have to use the actual controller.
You have to use that one.
And that's a problem because those controllers are absolute trash. So
they are absolute trash.
Where they added support to the other controllers, because like the 6-button Genesis for the Super Nintendo, they have enough buttons to support like Game Boy Advance games. Like, but I can't play them as of right now on the Retron.
You can't
5,
change the contrler at all. Like I know I can play any console with any controller.
Right. Except for me, except for Game Boy games. Like if I put a Game Boy game in and then plug in a Super Nintendo controller, it won't work.
Yeah.
But I can put in a Genesis game and play that with a Super Nintendo controller, no problem.
Yeah.
What the hell?
And so
that's weird.
It seems to be with the Game Boy games. And like I said, the controller for me, it's ergonomically, it's a little funky, but I do like the micro switch pad. So if I'm playing something like Mario Kart for the actually it feels really good. It almost feels like an analog stick, and so this feels better to me than playing it on just like a Game Boy SP where you're just using the D-pad. Like this feels like, so for me that's really the only instance. But for that instance, it feels pretty good. But like I said, the controllers are just poorly made. Like I don't know what that's about. So I wish
I agree.
Wired controllers, they probably work better, but
they probably would.
I bought 2 controllers with my system and used one of them like 3 times, like in the span of like a year and a half or whatever, because it was like the extra controller. And it doesn't work anymore at all. And the other one, as far as I know, because I haven't touched my Retron 5 in a while.
Yes.
As far as I know, it still works, but who knows?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, I haven't booted mine up in a minute, so hopefully it still works. Otherwise, I can't do the video. They released that new Retron console too that specifically just plays Game Boy stuff.
Yep.
So that one came out a while ago. So I don't know what that's about. I might check that out as well. But yeah, so I'm always looking for ways to play handheld games on the television. The PlayStation PSP was fantastic for that. If you got a 2000 or 3000 model, you can just plug in the cords and you're in the mix. And then with the Vita, they had the Vita TV, which was good. So at least you can play most games, and then much more you can if you hacked it, which is easy to do. You just download a file to it, and it basically unlocks all the Vita games, and you can play those, which is really nice. For the PlayStation 4 controller, because the PlayStation 4 controller has that touchpad in the middle that basically mimics the back touchpad on the Vita. So playing Vita games with the touch functions on the PlayStation 4 controller is actually it feels a lot better. So I do that. So yeah, and man, I was lucky. I got a
you could get Alex to figure that out.
I never liked that stupid touchpad on the back of the Vita.
No. Yeah, I don't either. But like I said, if you got doing it with the Vita TV or PlayStation TV, it's called. And where's mine at? Because it's over here. Yeah, because these bad boys, unfortunately, these things are super expensive now.
They are.
And
yeah.
I got this for like $25 or $30. Like GameStop was selling them. I caught it right when GameStop was getting rid of them. And so I bought this new for like $25.
Shit.
And
that's awesome.
Yeah, it came with a little memory card and stuff like that. And so, yeah, playing like hooking your PlayStation 4 controller to this, like Vita games are on point. And that's how I usually play them now.
That would be nice to get a hold of.
Oh, no, last time I checked, those are like a couple $100 now, I think.
Yeah, they're getting up from like $250 to like $3 something. Like, yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's just too much. We have a couple comments here. We'll probably have more than a couple.
Well, here,
Joe Rice
I'm gonna go fill my beer up while you get on those. Maybe
rattler me.
Yell at me if one of them are directed to me.
Okay. Just got Futurama on PlayStation 2 for $50. Wow.
Oh, that's the steal right there.
No, Futurama on PlayStation 2.
Okay.
Scott, Futurama 2? No, there's no Futurama 2. I miss the days where different consoles would have different versions of the same property, such as Aladdin on SNES and Genesis, wrestling game exclusives to the console.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let me see here. Old ass retro gamer said OG Xbox outputs in HD, Enter the Matrix outputs in 1080.
Wow.
Yeah,
I saw that coming.
That's true.
A couple of them that do that. There's like an MX, like it's like a Macross game that does it too. And one of the Terminator games do it on the Xbox, and there's like two more. There's not that many of them, but yeah, Enter the Matrix on the Xbox, and it's native 1082. Like it's not, it's nice. It was on point. There's a lot of them too. Like Soul Calibur 2 will broadcast in 720p. And so there's a lot of them that'll broadcast in 720p too. Yeah, the Xbox, man, was way ahead of its time. And, people are always like looking for like the Dreamcast 2 after the Dreamcast fell. And I'm like, man, the original Xbox is the Dreamcast 2. In my opinion, like it's got like the 4 controller ports. And, Sega had a really good partnership with Xbox. When Sega dropped out of the console race and they started making software exclusively, they put out a lot of stuff on Xbox, almost as if to say, like, get back to PlayStation 2 for us for getting us out of the game, trying to get the revenge. Utagi is a perfect example. Like, those were 2 Sega titles that were exclusive to the system, and there's a bunch more. But,
Speaking of that, old ass retro gamer says those Otagi games are amazing. I included the first in my Diamonds in the Rough video a few years back.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what? Somebody had mentioned to us in a comment, one of our videos here just a few months ago, and I've been trying to find them ever since, and I can't.
Expensive.
They're expensive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Modan's telling us to just buy another TV.
Oh yeah, I think I might have to. Dennis laughs and says, "Yeah, I see another TV coming in here."
We have 3 TVs in the game room. We have
I'm not sitting at the bar to play a game.
But it's so close to the beer.
Oh.
Come on. Joe wants to know, how do y'all like PS4 VR? I'm loving it. Just finished Blood and Truth. We don't have one.
I've only ever tried it once.
Joe,
is that one good?
You are a man of taste out here. Yes. Oh my God. I love the PlayStation VR. I was just talking to my buddy, Professor Joe Casey. He's another YouTuber on the platform. And he's all in on the PlayStation VR. And we were just talking the other day, and man, like the PlayStation VR could have been so bad, right? Like, it could have been awful, but it works fantastically in my opinion, and the experiences on that. And that's like, if people were asking me, the choice between Xbox One or PS4, I would say PS4, not so much because of the exclusives that it has, but because PlayStation 4 has the PlayStation VR, and that is like more or less a new way to experience games. And so I've been all in on VR, collecting a lot of VR stuff lately. I just got Res Infinite on the VR, which didn't come out physically in America, but it came out in Japan and Europe. and that one's inching towards $100 now. I need to get that, or I got that. I need to get Arizona Sunrise. That's another one I'm looking out for. And I could have bought the game Moss back in the day, but didn't. Some of my favorite games on VR are Skyrim, because Skyrim is fantastic.
That's a video right there, man. That's a video right there.
Yeah,
favorite VR games.
I did a VR video years ago when I was shooting on the dirty cell phone, but I definitely need to update that because I've been playing a lot. Farpoint is fantastic on the VR. Rick and Morty is good on the VR.
Rick and Morty, that'd be fun.
That would be fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of good VR games, and
we were kind of holding off, waiting for that. Like,
I was waiting for the next generation of VR to come in on PS5 there, but
and that
this year.
There's that. Yeah. But me, like, I probably won't get a PS5 for a long time. I don't see myself buying one for at least another year or two. So, but
we don't turn us on a whole lot.
I hope when it comes out that the PSVR 2 is backwards compatible, which it probably won't
that
be.
That would be great.
Tripping about that lately, but
I think so, because all their PS4 games, except for maybe
that's true, because most of them
10 or so games
are backwards compatible. Yeah.
I think it will be.
I hope so.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I would definitely be here for that.
Yeah.
So but I'm a huge fan of the VR and definitely fleshing out that collection. And now I'm collecting more PlayStation 4 stuff now that I'm almost done with 7th gen back there. So
now the only game I ever played, I tried was a Resident Evil Biohazard, and after I played it, I felt a little bit nauseous, and that kind of holds me back on grabbing it.
Lots of people are giving you. Lots of people are giving you comments on RPGs to play, but we will look at them tomorrow. We'll look at the live chat because we got a little bit far behind again. But what were you going to say?
Sorry, cutting you off.
I was just going to say, for me, it's weird. Like, VR doesn't bother me at all. Like, I don't get any kind of. I don't know if it's because I'm blind in one eye, but yeah, I streamed like Doom VFR like 2 years ago, and I've played it start to finish. It took me like 3.5 hours to beat the game, and I just played straight through, like, which is a fantastic game, by the way. Oh my god, Doom in VR is so killer. They just remastered Doom 3. They came out on the original Xbox, just remastered it in VR, and my homeboy Joe Casey put onto that, so I just bought that last week, and so I'm definitely gonna try that out. And because that one,
I think I could get all into VR if we had one.
I'm wondering though, is that something you can build up a tolerance to after a while? Like, because about my one experience, I felt a little bit nauseous, and that's what's making me a little bit hesitant. Also, with buying a VR. It is.
Because I was kind of the same way with first-person shooters back in the day. Like, if I played first-person shooters for a while, I would kind of get nauseous. Like, because
what did we try to play?
We actually tried to play Gears of War split screen here.
I couldn't do it
on the big screen, and she was getting nauseous.
I was getting too nauseous. I felt like it just was like everywhere. I'm like, I had to. I hated the idea that I had to stop it. I'm like, I can't do this, Scott. Like, I cannot watch this screen. I'm getting nauseous.
Yeah, we didn't get far either.
No.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, split screen, like, for me, like, especially like when we played, me and my brothers played a lot of split screen games, like on the PlayStation 1 and 2. And when the screen is split horizontally, like, that messes with me. But if it's split vertically, then I can deal with it. Like, it's interesting. Like,
Gears is horizontally.
I couldn't play GoldenEye for that. Like, GoldenEye used to mess me up when I would go over my friend's house and play it. Oh man.
Oh, Generation Pixel said goodnight, but that was probably like 20 minutes ago. So when you see this tomorrow, we said night to you.
And also, shout out to Generation Pixel, okay, for winning YouTuber of the Month.
Yes, I saw that.
Okay,
I saw that. That was awesome.
Yeah.
And I am having a hard time because there's 2 channels that I'm subscribed to or that watch us that are nominated this month, and I don't want to have to choose. It would feel bad. So unless I can give a vote for both.
Well, I could vote one on my YouTube channel, and then you vote one with Retro Rivals.
That's what we'll do then.
So don't get pissed off if you see Retro Rivals voting for one and not the other.
Scott Burns will vote for the other.
That's how I go on there, and people are starting to learn who I am. That sucks.
Yeah. We also have Gernaldino. I think I said it right. Hello, all. Sorry, I'm late. Unplanned nap. That's okay.
Don't worry, man. You're gonna need it.
Cassandra's lurking. Hey, Cassandra.
Cassandra.
And who else do we have in here? We'll skip ahead on the chat. Sorry if I miss anything, guys. I see Corona and a Canon. I just have to look. Parasite Eve is on the PS3 network for $5.99. Great pickup for sure if you don't want to drop $100 on the disc version.
I have the disc version.
Up in price crazy.
Yeah, it did.
Definitely, like you should be snatching those up. Herc's Adventure is another one that's expensive now.
Oh yeah,
one that, like I said earlier, Misadventures of Trombone, Mega Man Legends, both of those are on there. And the first Mega Man Legends is like 40, and Mega Man Legends 2 broke 100 recently. So I didn't get both of those for $9.99 on there. There's a bunch of them. Like, I think they got the on the PlayStation 2 side, I think they still got the Fatal Frame games on there.
You think so?
Yeah. Man, I was hoping that they would put Rule of Rose on there. Or,
right?
Yeah.
That would have been killer, but it wasn't to be. I'll never have that in my collection again. I used to own it, and
what is it up to now?
It's
like
gotta be. Oh yeah.
A 900?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's like 900
Holy
now.
Shit. When we were in Quebec there, not that long ago, I think I seen it for in the 200s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it like four years ago here at a local vintage stock, like 4 or 5 years ago, and it was $189. And I'm like, man, that's too rich for my blood. But man, I wish I would have got it.
Wish you would have got it now.
Yeah, I remember buying the game originally for like $35. So I'm like, man, I'm not paying that for when I paid $35.
No.
Man, played myself. I should have got it. Should have got it.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Foods is in the house. Hey, everyone. We also got Chill Scissors. Hey, Chill Scissors.
Chill Scissors. That's my guy right there. Yep.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Great channel. I discovered him through YouTuber of the Month.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
We have Davis Deadly. Hey, Davis Deadly. And do we have anybody else? Oh, Pawn Gamer Guy. Hey. How are you? And I'm trying to get caught up again.
Holy jumping.
Greg, I don't know if I said hey to you, but I've been reading as I've been going and trying to get caught up. But I did see in the chat earlier, and we got Dan Bunch of Numbers. I don't say all the numbers because
Dan Bunch of Numbers.
Dan Bunch of Numbers. Is it too late to get into PlayStation VR? No,
I don't think
never too late.
Yeah, most of the games have not risen in price. There's not a lot of heavy hitters. The most expensive games that I'm aware of are Moss is going up in price. Moss is hanging around like $40, $50. Res Infinite, because it never came out physically in America, that's going to cost you about $100. And then Arizona Sunrise is going to cost you like $70, like last I looked. And those are like the major ones that I can think of that have gone up in price. But I see them all the time around 20 and below. So yeah, it's definitely a good time to get into VR.
Yeah. Before it's too late.
Yeah.
We have
you get a couple hundred. And
I do. I think I have that same Otoji 2 on my watch list there.
No manual.
I know. Every time.
Love that.
It's a man. Copy,
that Utagi too, man. I'm gonna get it one day. I'm gonna complete it.
Oh yeah. Have to. Alex L's, that's our son. He's upstairs watching on his computer. Regret, it shall consume you forever.
Too true. That is too true.
True.
Do we want to jump in? I feel like it's been a while since we jumped into a game.
I'm just gonna get caught up.
Never, Jen.
Holy crap! This live, great call and Fatal Frame. Team Pandori. Hey, Team Pandori. And Marcus Bolt is saying, anyone downloading the Resident Evil 8 demo tonight or tomorrow?
Ooh.
Yeah, if for all you perverts out there, that one might come to VR at some point. So you know what I'm saying? You can play that in VR, and you can get a belt and like tie it around your neck so you can choke yourself out a little bit during the cutscene. It'd be just like the real thing, okay?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to keep it real.
Mm-hmm. And I was like, hey, that's what I'm gonna do. I got my sliced lemon ready. I'm gonna put a lemon in my mouth for that citrus. Bam. But
man,
let's do another game. There, it's getting weird.
Okay, I'm gonna just do all my Game Boy stuff. I mentioned the 2 RPGs. Also, another one that was huge was Super Mario 2 and the 6 Golden Coins.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was one of my first games that I just beat so completely, and I like unlocked everything there was to unlock on it. We can't talk about the Game Boy without talking about Pokemon and the impact that Pokemon had. The only one I have left is I got this one. That's silver. I don't know why.
That's silver.
Yeah, Pokemon Silver, and then I got Fire Red on the Game Boy Advance. But Pokemon, man, Pokemon was so crazy because everybody got into that. Like that was the game that made the Pokemon was the game that made everybody come out of the closet, right? Like, we were we were all gamers, but you didn't necessarily let everybody know you're a gamer, especially during that time period. Because in the late 90s, on the PlayStation, you was either playing wrestling games on the 64 or you was playing Madden on the PlayStation. Like it, that's all like cool kids. They played the sport, and like, oh no, we don't play that kiddie stuff and da da da. But man, they had the thugs was out there on Pokemon talking about. Man, it's like fighting dogs. It's like dog fighting, and I live in the Midwest. And we be fighting dogs out here. It's terrible, but that's how they get down. So when Pokemon came out, it's like, oh man, it's like little dogs, man. You make them fight, da 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 da. And then like I remember the gangsters was like approaching me on the school bus stop. I'm sitting there waiting for the bus, and I'm playing Pokemon Red, and my starter Pokemon is Charizard because, of course, like that's like the best starter Pokemon. But the thugs was running up on me talking about, nah, cuz we don't do that Charizard around here, cuz. You know what I'm saying? You got to get that blast.
I think that's Alex's favorite.
Yeah, man,
I think so.
Of course. But man, that was one of those games that everybody was doing it. We were all on the bus stop with the link cables, getting down with each other. Like,
oh yeah.
It didn't matter. And then all of a sudden, all these people that I never thought played that come up. Pokemon, man. Yeah, what level you want to trade? Da 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 da. Yeah, Pokemon was crazy. Like I don't think people understand. You had to been. That's one of those things in gaming history where like you had to have been there, to know how crazy it was. It's like seeing Street Fighter 2 like drop in the arcades, like and how that revolutionized the fighting genre. Like you had to been there to know how crazy.
Yeah, that was my time there.
Yeah,
Street Fighter 2 drop.
I mean, Alex wasn't really around for the start of Pokemon, obviously, but he is huge.
He's got a nice collection, and I do believe Silver is the first one I got him as a Christmas gift.
Nice. And it's cool to see like the next generation of Pokemon lovers like out there. And I've been heavily playing Pokemon Go and all that like and so
Alex is asking, you got the box for those?
Are they complete?
No. I wish.
That's crazy.
Do you know why he's asking that? Because he has Heart Gold loose. Mm-hmm. We got it for him for an amazing price. Wouldn't have been this Easter, but last. It was one of the ones he was like, I have to have it. Yeah. So we saw it at a local pawn shop for $49.99.
It was a really good price because there was a big blob of fingernail polish on.
Yes, and a marker on top of the fingernail polish. And I was like, I'll never try to get that off. There's no way I don't damage the label. So he got it, and I said, I'm sorry. It's not a great, copy of the artwork, but it is what it is. You'll be able to play it. It didn't matter. Actually, a couple days ago, we were looking up the prices of them all, and that game is just skyrocketing constantly. So I said, Alex, bring it to me. I'm going to try to get that marker, that fingernail polish off and the marker. And you know what? I got it completely off. And he would bring it downstairs,
perfect.
Alex.
It looks perfect.
Yeah, awesome. I used a little bit of acetone and mean green. And if anybody watched our last video, I love the shit out of mean green. And it worked. I didn't use the acetone a lot, just enough to loosen up the layer. And then I used mean green, and it worked on my way, he says. Team Bandori is saying, saying Pokemon is a gateway drug. Then Zelda. Then Final Fantasy. Yeah. Pokemon Blue for me, looking forward
like Zelda's.
to what is that? I don't know how you pronounce that.
What is?
I don't know how to pronounce that either.
Pokemon Blue for me. Looking forward to Arceus.
Arceus? I don't know what that is.
No, I don't know either.
I misspelled it.
Yeah, maybe it's a misspelling.
Or
Marcus,
it's a new game coming out that we don't know.
Oh, you there?
I got a delivery.
You got a delivery? Yeah. He even put on a shirt and everything. My child never has a shirt on. So yeah,
you can't see that from there.
You can't see it because it's blurry.
Way up to the camera.
Well, then it's going to get blurry. Yeah. Either way,
well, whatever.
That used to have marker right on where it says.
Take it back, bud.
I know. We used to have on
it's
the Nintendo
now.
DS. Yeah. There's nothing on it now, and
it's super clean.
I was willing to try it for so once I cleaned that and he found out how much it was worth, he started putting in all his games on the price charting app too. He was very excited.
Yeah, Pokemon, he's got a nice little collection there.
You do have a nice little collection.
I have one of every generation.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
I have the first generation one, second generation one, third generation one.
What's your favorite? Ooh, tough question.
Come
answer.
What's
your favorite?
You
think about it and go up and add it to the chat.
I'll be right back, guys, because I got I think it has a Pokemon game on. I want to see which one it is now, so I'll be right back.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
So anybody that might play Pokemon in the chat, let's see. No, it's the new Pokemon game coming out where it's free roam catching style. Oh, okay.
Nice.
Yeah. So
you know about that one?
No clue.
No.
Watch out for the painting behind you.
So anybody in the chat, anybody that might enjoy Pokemon, what's your favorite Pokemon game? What's your favorite Pokemon
if we
game?
only could keep one, which
if
one
you could only keep one. And price is no issue.
Well, the one I'm thinking of is one of the more expensive ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I've beaten it and I haven't
doesn't matter.
Almost to completion. Fully.
So which one is it?
Emerald.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
Modan's saying, wow, he's looking so grown up. Yes, and he's sounding so grown up too. Yeah. He's got a little bit of a mustache
and a
little bit of the acne.
He's working on the beard.
She's touching me a lot. And that doesn't sound good.
All right, bud.
Yeah. So anybody else? Oh, here we go. We have Team Pandori saying Pokemon Blue, everything else sucked.
Red better than blue.
Red and yellow. You know, they had yellow, the special Pikachu edition where Pikachu follow you around. They were all basically the same game, though.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. He's told
me
that.
And they had green. They came out in Japan. Let's see, which one is it? So, yeah, my friend gave me. It's actually my girlfriend's friend. She gave her a bunch of DSs.
DS. Oh yeah.
I wish 3DSs for real, but this is the one that has the game in it. And you got Pokemon Diamond, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, nice.
I don't know a whole lot about them.
No, Alex is
Pokemon thing about.
There you are.
Nice.
Yeah, I froze for a second, I think, but so I don't know if that one's expensive or not.
I have no idea.
I guess we'll have to see.
Alex is going to tell us now.
They're all kind of sought after.
Alex is saying yellow is hella expensive right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Dan Bunch of Numbers saying he was old enough and lucky enough to get Soul Silver at launch. Okay. Soul Silver, I do believe complete is very expensive too. I might be confusing that with something else.
I really like silver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pokemon Blue was the first one Lords of Bulba played, so now I'm back and calling you Lords of Bulba. I think I'm just trying to flex my ability to say your name now.
Right.
Gen 1 for me, I grew up playing Red Blue. Pokemon Gold. Yeah. And Alex said yellow's hella expensive. Team Pandori said, how many girlfriends do you have? 3? Is that for Alex?
That must be for Alex.
That's for Alex. He can't handle 3 women.
I hope you're not talking to me because I'm not going to tell.
Silver is same as Heart Gold. And
dang, 200
Alex
Canadian.
is saying $200 Canadian.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah. Yeah, all those Pokemon games, guys, you got them there. They're really shooting up.
Yeah. All Pokemon games are decently priced, at least. They're going up, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know why it is. The last probably 6 months, they're really flying up there. Dan, bunch of numbers. It's just money. Be so sad to sell the Pokemons. Yeah, he was very excited when he started putting them in. I think that, I don't know, it was like a bit of a moment
pride for his collection. Yeah. Because he does have a decent little collection of games, right? And a decent little collection of Pokemon games, because that was like one of his first loves. So.
Yeah, he was really into Pokemon cards and then really got into the games too. Yeah, so it was... Pokemon was a gateway to Yu-Gi-Oh! That's true too. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Very similar.
All right. Let me see. What else?
So do we have another game?
We do. Lord Zybaba is back in the chat. I know you remember the story behind this game. Extermination. On the PlayStation 2. This is a fantastic game. I showcased it recently. Back in October, I was reviewing games to play during Halloween.
That's where I see it.
Yeah, Extermination was actually the first survival horror game released on the system. And so they had a lot riding on it. It was a really good game, but again, like shortly after, then I think like Silent Hill 2 came out, and then everybody forgot all about it. But Extermination was Lord Zybaba owned this game first, and I got it from him by doing a series of challenges. We were hanging out at his house one time, and he found a gardener snake. And he found a gardener snake in the bushes or whatever and pulled it out. I was like, okay, like if you hold it for like a certain amount of time. And I'm like, okay. And I held it. And he's like, nah, that was too easy, man. Nah, you got to do this. And I was doing all these challenges. Eventually, he put the snake in a bag and was like, all right, you got to hold it with your mouth. And I'm like, all right. So I held it in my mouth and I'm doing that. And he's like, nah. He's like, now you got to put it in your mouth. A snake in the bag, and I held it in my mouth. He's like, you got to hold it there for like 30 seconds. So like, all right. And then, all right, nah, man. Now you got to dance around a bit. I'm like, just give it a goddamn game and take the snake out. He ended up giving it to me, so that's how I got Exterminate.
Time to see how far you go.
You know what, Jen? I have the exact same for you.
Going there. I'm going there because I know what snake he's referring to. Ladies and gentlemen, my husband. I want to talk about this for a second because I saw this. I think it was on Twitter or Instagram. I can't remember which one I saw it on. I found a Sega CD collection at a garage sale yesterday. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Were they not 50 cents a game? I shit you not, guys.
Crazy.
Tell us in the comments, Pawn Gamer Guy. I'm pretty sure he said 50 cents.
You know what?
He got $600 worth of Sega
Everybody's
CDs.
Got these stories and stuff, but they're getting harder and harder to find.
They are.
Like stuff like this does not happen often.
Because old people have the internet now.
Yes, most people just look it up. They look it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's definitely becoming more scarce. They're still out there, but yeah, it's hard. Yeah, it's starting to get spooky out there, guys. I definitely got to make sure I hit garage selling hard this year.
Oh yeah. Well, we're gonna try, but we never really find anything.
Oh,
we never find.
That's me too. That's me too. Or I'll find like there'll be some games. I'm like, oh, bet, and then they're just like a bunch of comments, and I'm like, come on, like. Yeah.
Team Van Dory saying these horror stories sound like the stuff you had to do in a heavy rain. Yeah, it's crazy. Like I couldn't believe he found that stuff for that. The guy was just like, yeah, whatever. 50 cents. It was under a bunch
How did you control? You must have one hell of a poker face.
Well, he said they were under a bunch of stuff in the box, and everything was in the box was 50 cents, and the guy sold the stuff for 50 cents.
I can imagine the look on my face. Okay. I guess I'll take them there.
Do you think you could do 25? Shit.
Damn.
I don't know.
Yeah, see, that's the hard part. Not aim and go like, right. You just gotta play it cool. Like, man.
I have to tell you guys a story. It's not
yeah,
gaming
that's
related,
the hard
but
part,
it's
like trying
yard
to
sale
play coy,
related.
like once you find something crazy.
Oh yeah,
and not letting the seller on to the fact that you place a high value on it, because then they'll.
Oh, definitely. So I have to tell you guys a story really quick. It's not gaming related, but it's yard sale related. I went with Alex one time to a yard sale that had Nerf guns. He used to be really into Nerf guns. He liked to take them apart. He liked to mod them. He has shelves like it looks like there's an armory in his room.
Yeah,
because he has them hung on a peg wall. So we pull up to a yard sale, and I said, "Listen, boy, like you need to calm yourself," because he was excited. I'm like, "You got to go in with a level head." He goes in, and he says he's level headed at first, and he's like, "How much for the Nerf guns?" And they're like, "This much," and he's like, "Oh my god, I would have paid 10 for that!" And then he starts getting so excited that I'm pretty sure he drove up the price on himself. I'm like, I can't take you anywhere. Like, there's no negotiating with you. He's just too damn honest. So he offered them more.
Blurted it out.
Like, what did I do wrong here? Your parents are collectors.
Wow.
You don't know how to bargain? Yeah. So what do you do? We have a bunch of people commenting too. Pawn Gamer Guy under a bunch of CDs. Yeah, an insane find.
Good for you.
Yeah,
good for you. It never happens now, but it's fun to hear about them.
It is. I have to compete against the purchasers for local gaming stores. They cheat and go to the sales before they open.
Yep.
That pisses me off too, because you have yard salers like that too.
Yep.
That'll come. You're like, "Hey, my yard sale starts at 8. Oh, cool.
There,
I'll be here at 7.
Yeah.
No.
Yep.
No. Yeah, you told him it was too cheap. My exact words.
Oh, what happened? I think we lost him.
I think we lost.
We'll wait for him.
Yeah, we'll wait for him. He'll jump back in.
There coming back already. There you're back.
Okay, I was about to say I'm starting to lose guys a bit. Like it was.
I thought you got tired of us. I said, the hell with this. I'm gonna play some games.
Like, wait. Like, was that me, man? It's been raining here lately, so it's kind of.
Oh. I noticed it's been getting a little choppy here lately. The last, 20 minutes.
Yeah,
or so.
I think a storm is moving in, so hopefully I don't get cut off here. But
we better hit another game.
Yes. So let's go back to the PlayStation for a little bit. And so I was talking about Metal Gear Solid. An interesting point about that is 1998 was the year that really like the stealth genre blew up. You had, and the reason why is because you had Metal Gear Solid, you had Thief on the PC, and you had this game. You had all these games come out within a few months of each other.
Tenchu.
Yeah.
And there was no stealth games before, but after all three of these games came out, then like the stealth genre was on the map after that. And Tenchu was a fantastic game. Yeah, Tenchu and its sequel, Tenchu 2, Birth of Assassins. These are some of my favorite games because like that was like they really made you feel like a ninja. Like there's games like Ninja Shadow Darkness, which I talk about. There's the Ninja Gaiden games on the NES and Shinobi on the Genesis and things like that. But you didn't really feel like a ninja in the sense that, because when I think of ninja, I think of ninjas being sneaky and stealth and things like that. And so this was really the first time you played as a ninja who actually acted like a ninja. And that, not saying anything bad about those other games, but they weren't stealth in nature. More true to the story. And so this one, I mean, it took place in the Warring States period, and so it was kind of a historical setting, and you used weapons and items from the time period and things like that. And so, the Tenchu games are fantastic, a fantastic storyline, a memorable cast of characters. Also, Tenchu 2 was really fantastic because most of the cast from Metal Gear Solid lent their voices to the characters in Tenchu 2.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
That was pretty cool. So Meryl, who Debbie Mae West, she's the American Meryl in the Metal Gear Solid games. She plays Ayame in Tenchu in the Tenchu games.
Nice.
And Master Shunsai is the same guy who voices the Colonel Campbell in Metal Gear Solid. He's the master in Tenchu 2. And so there's some other characters. I think Doug Stone is in there too, and some other actors. But yeah, like the Tenchu games are fantastic. And so yeah, definitely my love of stealth games comes from the Tenchu and Metal Gear Solid for sure.
I'd have to try it.
How's the Tenchu game on the Xbox? I have it, but I haven't played it yet.
Oh yeah, Tenchu. So Tenchu on the Xbox, you're talking about Return to Darkness. It's a
yes.
It's actually Tenchu 3. So
okay.
On the PlayStation 2, let's see. So you had 2 games that come out on the PlayStation 2. One of them was Tenchu Wrath of Heaven. Tenchu Wrath of Heaven is the 3rd game. And Tenchu Return to Darkness is basically this game. But again, it has some added features. So it adds a couple of levels that this game doesn't have. Also, you play it added a couple of extra characters that you can play as. Tenchu Wrath of Heaven and Return to Darkness has a 2-player mode where you basically can take characters from the series and battle it out in these arenas.
Okay.
And, and so that's cool where you can play as all the bosses or all the heroes and you guys can fight it out in arenas. So Return to Darkness added some more characters that Wrath of Heaven didn't have to play in that mode and stuff like that. So it's a really good game. Tenchu Fatal Shadows is another one to look out for on the PlayStation 2. This one I think is going to be rare because
I haven't seen it either.
I've never seen that one.
And this one's going to be rare, so because I get that same reaction where I show this, and I'm like, whoa, there was another Tenchu game, and so so definitely, the Tenchu series is phenomenal. So yeah, but Return to Darkness is a really good game. So I definitely was just trying it out sometime in the near future.
I feel like I'm gonna have to watch this video back tomorrow and be like jotting down games.
You know what's funny there? Because you're saying that Tenchu on the Xbox has had some added features to it there. They also did the same thing with the Onimusha that on the Xbox.
Getting Onimusha, yeah. Yep, same thing. And that's a great version of it to play too.
I really, really liked Onimusha series there.
Yes, you did,
Yeah,
Greg's saying I found a N64 with about 15 games at an auction that was mixed in with a box of cordless phones. It was all older folks, so they didn't know what it was. Got it for $11. Was losing my mind.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Nice.
Lord Zabal was saying, "What? Who are you?" Almost as iconic as the Metal Gear Solid alert sound. I probably said, "What? Who are you?"
Yeah. What? Who are you? That's what the enemies will say if you get spotted. And yeah. It's like, what? Who are you?
At Greg, it happened, just not often anymore. That guy was like 75 years old. Yeah, when he was driving home from work, I read it earlier. 5:45, just stopped in and saw that.
It just doesn't happen now.
It really, really doesn't.
No.
I read what Alex put earlier. He said, when you dropped out for a second because of the connection, he realized the last stream was over 4 hours and he tried to escape.
I was trying to figure out. I was like, is it me? Because you were telling the story and then it started to get choppy and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, was it? But I was looking at my own screen on here and I'm like, oh, like I look okay. Like, is it them? Like, I don't know. Like, so
it's so hard to tell.
Yeah. Then I heard thunder and I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. So it's probably me.
Grinaldino said, still not got around to playing Tenchu Z on the 360.
Oh, I don't think
Tenchu Z is good. I like Tenchu Z, but it's one of those games where like they take you out of it. Like, so for the majority of the games you play as Rikimaru and Ayame. Those are the two Azuma Ninja. But in Tenchu Z, it's basically like Rikimaru is the new master of the Azuma Ninja. After Shisai dies, and so you get to create your own character, which is cool. You can play as a man or a woman and create your own character.
Oh, nice.
But it's kind of like what they did in the Siphon Filter series with Siphon Filter, the Omega Strain. And you know, in Siphon Filter, you always play as Gabe Logan. Sometimes you get to play as Leon Zing or Teresa, but in the Omega Strain, like Logan is like the company now, like the master, and you play as a bunch of random like new recruits. So that can be a good or a bad thing. In Tenchu Z, the gameplay is still very much there. I really like Tenchu 2 because there was a lot of mechanics that the other games didn't have, like being able to move bodies after you assassinate them, and being able to swim and use bamboo to stick out so you can breathe underwater and things like that. And so a lot of those game mechanics they brought back to Tenchu Z. And I think that really saved the game, because otherwise, like, it's not my favorite in terms of story, because, you know, you get taken out of playing as the central characters. But yeah.
Greg saying, impressed with Lightsaber Samurai. He just runs over to a shelf and pulls the game in thought. Wow, he has his collection memorized and organized.
Yeah,
I'm impressed with your game knowledge, and not just your knowledge of the game, your knowledge of everything about the game.
Yeah, you're very well.
Very knowledgeable.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that.
Very knowledgeable.
My collection, for one, is not very big compared to a lot of my peers. Like especially like these last few years, I've been spending more money on like equipment and like my production and stuff like that, and not really buying games. So my collection now, like, I'm not even at 1,000 yet. I think I'm at like 870 or something last I checked.
Yeah.
So, but not only that, like I got everything in alphabetical order. So I got a shelf and right there. That's Xbox 360, Xbox One, original Xbox. And so, like, yeah, it's pretty easy to find stuff just because my collection's not that big. But yeah, I appreciate that, Greg. Like, that was very nice of you to say.
It is very nice.
We're in the 1100 game area there. Right now.
I don't know how much bigger we'll grow past.
I don't think I want to go past 1500 for the size of my room and everything like that. And I got a lot of filler.
Right.
And like that filler is gonna have to move out for like better games eventually.
Or games we just want more in the collection. Yeah. But
yeah, because I mean, I do want to get to a point where I play all of my games.
Yeah,
so I don't want a crazy big collection that I'll never play. No. Like, I can't be like Metal Jesus Rocks with like 10,000 games. Like, I would the anxiety of not being able to play all of those would literally kill me. Like,
that's what I keep thinking. That's what I keep thinking about all our games. I'm like, how in the hell are we going to play these all? It feels like a waste to not play.
Does this happen to you? Because this happens to me all the time. I will plan, and I've actually said on live streams, tomorrow I'm going to play Devil May Cry again because I've seen Jen play it. I want to go play it. And then I come downstairs and I'm looking around and I grab Mass Effect. Like, I do that all the time.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
it's
just,
like,
absolutely.
It also doesn't help on TV.
Like, oh, well, I've been playing this game. Like, let me play this game real fast. Like, let me finish this, and then I'll go back to it. Yeah, because I also want to beat all of the games I own, too. I know that's probably not going to happen, but I feel like at this stage, the size of my collection, the fact that I've beaten probably about 35 to 40% of it makes me feel like there's still a chance that I could finish it. But
that in itself is pretty impressive there.
But at the same
have a problem? If you start a game, you have to finish. Do you have the problem if you start a game, you have to finish a game? Because I feel really bad not finishing a game. Like, it really bothers me.
I do too. But then on the other hand, I do feel like there are games that aren't necessarily meant like that don't have to be beaten. Like, and I'm trying to think of some, like, you know, fighting games are a good one. Like, I don't have to beat the game with every character.
No, that's true. Or like a racing game, you could probably casually play. Or like a racing game, yeah.
Because I never unlocked all the cars in Gran Turismo, but I played enough of it to get it out of my system. And so, racing games are definitely a genre like that. So
we have a couple more questions here. Modan saying, so what is your favorite import game? And I don't feel like I have enough knowledge in the area to make.
You know what?
Yeah.
I've got like just a couple of PS4 games or imports, only because I have a friend over in Sweden that's shipped them to me.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't really have any import games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any?
I don't have a huge, and I don't think I have any physical import games.
It's hard to want to get into that, especially for those older gen consoles, because you would have had to have a PAL console, right?
Well, yeah, you have to have the different console.
Yeah.
Because a lot of it is just like, man, like, I'm trying to finish the American stuff. Like, man, like, again, like, my anxiety, like, I don't want to spend too much time thinking about all the awesome games that I'll never get to play. And so when I start thinking about imports, like, that throws a whole nother thing into the mix. You know,
exactly. I have another one here. Diego saying, love new channels to find. Thanks so much, Diego.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
Please make sure you check out Lightsaber Samurai. He's got an awesome channel. K Haven's in the house. And we also
K Haven,
have...
that's my guy, man. He's been doing really well on his channel. Does a lot of reaction videos and things like that.
I know who K Haven is.
Yeah, K Haven. He's on the way up out here. This is your year, man. You'll be at 1,000 before the end of the summer. Easy. Easy.
It's tough to get to 1,000.
It is. We have El Tiburon saying tips on starting a podcast or YouTube channel, and Cooperative Nerds gave some good suggestions in the comments as well. I think you just have to start. That's it. Start,
and then always try to improve and try to have as much fun as you can, because I think it shows. Yeah. Yeah.
Don't continue saying, I'm going to start when this, or I'm going to try to get this done before I start, you'll think of new reasons to never start.
Yeah.
Start and just do the best you can and have lots of good energy. I think for us, we had good equipment. Because we already were there.
But we weren't comfortable in front of the camera.
Yeah. And also, if you think you're giving good energy, pump it up by like 10 to 25%, because honestly, it does not come across.
Yeah.
It is so hard to get that. Yeah. People will be like, oh my God, you're the biggest personality in real life. And then they see you on camera and be like, oh, you're like a dead fish. Like, you know what I mean? So just have fun with it and give it your good amount of energy.
I feel like
that's it.
Yeah, just go into it having fun, and like-minded people will find you.
Yes.
And I can't tell you enough. Like, we found there's a lot of viewers and more YouTube channels that we found. Like, I never would have found Lightsaber Samurai there if we hadn't started this YouTube channel.
Yes.
And started researching and looking at my Xbox collection, man.
And then we found when we got nominated for YouTuber of the Month and we won that one, then it drove us to we wanted to find new channels we hadn't seen. We loved the channels we already knew.
You know what it made us realize is when we won that month, we had to nominate, was it 5?
5 channels.
5, yeah.
And it was difficult. We have to go and find channels that are under a certain amount of subs that were,
And then I think that's where the networking started to happen, because before that we were just kind of we didn't know that was a thing.
And we didn't realize how rough it is with the YouTube algorithm. Like, if you're a small channel, you don't show up there on your news. I call it news feed on my YouTube page, but I know it's not that, but my home screen or whatever.
Yeah,
suggested videos. Like, if you're a small channel, you don't pop up unless you're a specifically searched title or.
Yeah, so you start there, and then you work up to those other things by having a really good clickable thumbnail. It's not the words on your thumbnail that people are looking at. It's the art you're putting on your thumbnail, how you're displaying it, how it artistically.
Which I still don't know how to do that. You guys got to give me.
Everybody says the same thing. That's all.
That's a toy, because I don't know how to make those Photoshop style thumbnail. I usually just try to take a dope photo and then use that.
I'm gonna make it so much easier for you. Canva. Canva, I used to spend so much time cutting myself out in Photoshop to put myself in a different background. Canva cuts it out for you for free in a matter of that. Shit, it's awesome.
And it's crazy because I have a Canva account because I'm a teacher, and so all of our teachers we got an account for I think I have a premium account too. I just never messed with it. So
my God, yes.
Check that out. Might make your life a lot easier.
Canva. What I started out using Canva, and it was great. And then I would start playing with the text more, because I was like, oh, I really want this size text right here, but it doesn't work. So I could shrink down the letters or widen it to however I want it to fit on there to make it look exactly like I wanted it to look. Canva's awesome. And I sound like I'm a rep for Canva.
And you made a point. I wanted to make a quick point real fast, because you talked about networking, which is super important. The best of what's one of my favorite ways to grow, because again, you get to meet a bunch of new people.
Oh yeah.
But, definitely get engaged in whatever community you're in. Definitely subscribe to people, watch their videos, comment this and that. Just try to become a part of the community. I want to point this out, because I got to give a huge special shout out to a YouTuber named Dr. Josh the Real Gamer, RIP. He passed away last year.
Yes, I had heard about that.
Dr. Josh the Real Gamer, he was the one that he was the guy for me. Like, he was that guy that put me on. I found him when I think he was one of my original 50 subs. He was like sub 37 or something like that.
Oh wow!
I saw a video of his and I'm like, yeah, man, like he was talking about something. I can't even remember, but the game, I was like, yeah, and we got to chopping it up back and forth about that. And he was like, oh yeah, I'll check you out. And he looked at my YouTube channel and was like, man, like I think you got a real shot at really doing this one day. I'm like, oh, for real? He's like, yeah, man. He's like, you know what? I got my gamer weekend stream, because he always had a stream called Gamers Weekend where he'd play a game and then he'll stream later. It was on Saturdays. And he was like, yeah, man, just hit me up on Saturday, join the stream. And, you know, so I hopped in the stream while he was live streaming. And then I got to meet like Garrett Spencer and Calvin the Bozo Jr. And that's where he introduced me to JLove81. And then that's how I got from JLove81. Then I found Linda the Gamer Girl, and I started talking to T-Belly and Alpha Nerd, and like it just blossomed from there. So
and man, you know what's crazy? I have never like physically been in contact with any of these people, and I'm like, I have friends everywhere, and I want to go visit them. And COVID could take a hike, I could go because now I have friends everywhere. Like, could we just all get together in one mutual like central location and hang out?
Yeah, it would be so awesome. Otherwise, people I never would have known otherwise. Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't know if it's just the YouTube, the gaming community, but
I don't know. Yeah,
I find like because we're in that gaming community of YouTube, there's a lot of nice people.
Oh my god,
there's a lot of nice people. Like reach out. Like you'd be surprised. It doesn't matter how big the channels are. Like recently, we've had some channels that are like Pixel Game Squad, like they're a big channel. They're 40,000+ subs, and they're like starting to watch some of our videos and comment, and we're like, wow.
We do have friends in Alabama.
I was shocked when like I started getting like comments from Metal Jesus Rocks on my
that's cool.
On my my Xbox Hidden Gems video, the first one I did, he was commenting on that, like, oh, he's talking about
awesome.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I never heard about that game. I definitely got to pick it up. And it's like, oh, your Hidden Gems videos are really good. And this is coming from the guy like who makes the Hidden Gems video. I'm like, whoa, like that's crazy. Like,
that's awesome. That's awesome. So, but I think what people, especially like people that are like new and fresh to the game, it was for us, we would go, oh my god, these people will never talk to us. Like, how do we like, you know, get into this network of gamers? And it's not like that. It's not like that at all.
I say that, but then there's YouTubers that I watch that I really watch, and I would love to talk to them there personally, but I don't feel like I don't want to go and like.
But I don't think that
try to get in contact with them either because they're a bigger channel.
But you don't start out and just go like, hey, I want, you know, you just talk, just chat, just leave a comment.
Right.
They'll comment back possibly or not. And
Yeah, and like I said, worst case scenario, you just gave somebody a nice comment, you know, but they might see like your thumbnail or like look at your name. And I've like my name, like a lot of people like, oh, I've clicked on you just because your name sounds interesting.
Yes.
And I had a lot of people. Did Metal Jesus invent the term hidden gems? He was the first one I've heard say that.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Could very well be.
I think he might have coined the phrase. He's the very first person, because when I look at hidden gems, like you can search hidden gems on YouTube, and his videos are the oldest that come up. I don't see anybody. I've seen a lot of YouTubers use the phrase, myself included, but nobody's videos are predating his, from what I can tell. So
well, he very well might have.
How long has he been on YouTube now?
Oh shit, forever.
Yeah, Metal Jesus, he's been on for, and like I said, a lot of people give him shit, like for like, oh, it must be nice and blah 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 blah. Like, bro, like Metal Jesus has been on YouTube literally for like 13 years.
Everybody
for like
works.
13 years. It's crazy.
Anybody that goes into YouTube and is doing like, you know, good videos, I don't think how people realize that don't do YouTube how much work goes into that.
Right.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's interesting
work.
because like we got like the retro, the anti-e-begging community, which is like a sub genre of the retro video game community, but they basically like call out big YouTubers for like their ill practices and, you know, talking I hear a lot of that, like, oh, all you do is, you know, sit there and make videos and blah, blah, blah. But I'm looking at the anti-e-beggars and they're just in dark rooms, you know, like that are untidy, like just like dirty homes and like on a cell phone. Like, yeah, it seems easy to you because the quality, look at the quality of video you're putting out, but like you're not editing, you're not investing in the sound, you're not learning 3-point lighting and things like that. Like, you're
not playing the games,
right?
You're not playing the games.
Like it's a lot that goes into this. Capturing gameplay footage is a bitch and a half. Like, I hate capturing low key. I hate capturing gameplay footage. Yeah, like
me too. It almost sometimes ruins a game experience because you're trying to watch your game, and then every now and again
recording.
You got to look down at your computer and you're like, you son of a bitch, you stopped. And then I just like, you ruined my night. Like, I have to now start this game capture over again.
Especially like if I'm trying to talk about a certain feature in a video game, I'm like, oh man, I need to film an example of that, but I might not be able to do that until I get to this level and earn this power up or weapon or whatever. And so I'm basically like just going through the motions, just trying to get to that point just so I can get the clip of it. And it's hard. Like doing a YouTube channel is tough. Like,
gosh.
Yeah, you have to enjoy it because
absolutely
it's a lot of work for not very much reward there.
That's true. Co-op of Nerds is saying the Midwest Gaming Classic is the meetup this year. Ooh. We've been mentioned. No, they do. You nerds mention that to us? A few
we're
times.
Not going to be allowed to travel.
I know, that's the thing.
Where's that
vaccination rule? In the Midwest.
In the Midwest, I don't know, man. I'm in Canada.
No, they did.
Yeah, somebody let me know where that's at.
Yeah, in all fairness, they did tell me where it was at, but I can't remember. And she gave me exactly where it was at. I think in the video with Do You Nerd on
our stream
on Get to Know Gamer, yeah. Or it was on with Retro Wolf.
Oh, Retro Wolf. That was
when we were on with Retro Wolf and Do You Nerd on his channel.
Oh,
they might have mentioned it there. I can't remember.
A few months ago.
Yeah, but yeah, it would. I want to at some point. Just COVID needs to take a hike.
Oh.
MJR popped up in a Gaming Off the Grid live stream chat once that I was in. It was awesome. And Gaming Off the Grid has been on Metal Jesus.
Yeah, they just got the feature. Yeah, they just I saw that.
Yeah.
I said, cool. They hit the big time,
cool, man.
Like,
I was happy for them.
So happy for them.
I was like, I know those guys. Like,
yes.
And you know what? They put in work.
They put in work.
Yeah, they
put in 2 videos a week plus a live stream most weeks. Yeah, and sometimes even another video.
And you can they do a really good job of not making it obvious, but they put in a lot of work to like getting their information correct, to scripting, to everything. They put in the work and then they make it come out naturally, which is fantastic.
Right. That's not easy.
Not a lot of YouTubers can do that. So hats off to them for being able to do that. And Modan saying, just being a good person in the community is one of the best methods.
Yeah,
absolutely. Treat your community well and they will treat you likewise. Ohio. And more specifically, he said Ohio is Midwest, and then Quapple saying Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, man. You know what? I got some beef, okay, with a lot of Midwest states. Okay, I'm from the Midwest, but there's a lot of states that I feel like shouldn't be classified as the Midwest, and I kind of feel like Wisconsin is one of them. Like, y'all a little too far north for me to be Midwest. And then like Michigan, like I got like family from Michigan, like, yeah, man, we the Midwest. Like, bro, like you live, like you surrounded by the Great Lakes on like 2 sides. Like the point of the Midwest is you're supposed to be in the middle of nowhere,
in the
bro.
mid.
Like, Kansas is literally in the middle of the map with nothing around us. Kansas is super flat. Like you can't get more Midwest than Kansas, okay? So yeah, I got some beef with some of that.
How far would that be from you?
Wisconsin or
because we don't know.
Yeah, Wisconsin
geography there for me is not great.
It's Kansas, then I gotta drive through Nebraska, then I gotta drive through South Dakota, then North Dakota, And then like Wisconsin is up there somewhere. So yeah, I would say it probably be like 16-hour drive if I'm guessing.
Oh shit.
16 to 24 easy. Like
yeah.
So yeah, that's a lot of distance.
Yeah, Co-op of Nerds is saying Milwaukee, November 5th to the 7th. Sorry. Oof. And then Dan Bunchenumber saying, yeah, they ain't Midwest. I'm in KC. We mid.
Facts, man. Facts. Okay.
And then Modan said Midwest is landlocked.
Exactly. You can't be in the Midwest and have the Great Lakes, which basically looks like the ocean when you stand in there, like, and be like, nah, man.
No, exactly.
You know, we have a mountain. We have one mountain in Kansas. We have one mountain called Mount Sunflower, and it's actually not a mountain. It's just the highest point because Kansas is super flat, but it kind of goes up in a slope. So by the time you get to Mount Sunflower, you don't even realize that you've increased in elevation, but you up there, and there's a plaque.
That's awesome.
There's a plaque like on the ground at the summit of Mount Sunflower, and it says like I can't remember the date, but like say it's like January 1st or something like on January 1st,
you're 5 feet off the ground now.
Yeah, it was like on this day, January 1st in the year 1898. Absolutely nothing happened. That's what the plaque says. So that, you know what I'm saying? That's Midwest, okay?
That makes me so sad because where do you guys hike? And maybe that's not a problem for gamers because
man,
no, we're playing games.
Yeah.
But I like to hike and I like the challenge of the elevation. Yeah. So we have like a little bit of that here.
If you go to like eastern Missouri, I think you know, you got the Ozarks over there. So that, and I mean the Ozarks, I can get there in probably like 8 hours or so. And then for same, you know, Kansas is next door to Colorado. So if you get to western Colorado, then you can get to the Rockies and stuff like that.
Yes,
even if you go as far west as Denver, you know, you can get to the mountains. And so I could get there, you know, in like a, you know, if I had a few days drive to get out there, I could do that and come back. So I could do it if I wanted to, but I don't know. That sounds kind of scary for real.
It's a lot of driving.
Jordan Peters wants to know how far east is your Midwest? For example, being from MN is it Minnesota?
Yeah, Minnesota. I don't consider Ohio. Yeah, being from Minnesota, I don't consider Ohio Midwest. I don't either, man. You know, Illinois is pushing it. Okay, like for me, I would say Midwest is Colorado, and Colorado is pushing it too. Because again, you get to western Colorado, then you got the Rockies out there, and then it looks more like I would say Colorado is like the mountain states. Okay, like so I would say Midwest is like Kansas, Oklahoma can be Midwest, Nebraska can be Midwest, Missouri. I would say like those 4 states, like right there.
Co-op of Nerds wants to know, is Indiana Midwest enough?
Indiana, I don't know, man. Y'all kind of far east, but I guess I'll take it. Indiana's landlocked. So I'll take Indiana. Okay.
You've been accepted, Co-op of Nerds, into the Midwest states.
Right.
There you go. Do we have another game?
Yeah, how do we make it out on games? How far are we into this?
Oh,
I don't even
I forgot we were doing that.
That's awesome.
So yeah, like I said, I know you guys are fans of Xbox, so we got to talk, you know, Xbox for a second. The original Xbox I was not really like an early adopter because during the 6th generation it was PS or GTFO for me. And again, because we were poor, we couldn't like get all the systems. We get one, and then hopefully we had the homie that had the GameCube or something like that, and then that's how I got to play the other games. Or if I got lucky and found a kiosk somewhere, you know, we can get down like that. But I bought.
Then your mom could just drop you off to the babysitter at the kiosk.
The Xbox, my first Xbox in 2005, actually, right before. Right. That's how it was, man. Like, I remember I used to have a job as a paper boy. And Andre, you know what I'm talking about because you worked for Penny Power too here in Wichita. And I remember my paper route was 204 houses, and I got paid $50 a month to deliver to these 204 houses like 3 nights a week or 2 or 3 nights a week.
Wow.
And so I wasn't making anything, but in 8th grade, it was cool. You know, I always had a little cash on me in 8th grade. You know, if I could go to, because back then when we had vending machines at school, and I can go get my hot fries or whatever from the vending machine. But I was doing that. There was a Blockbuster right down the street from my house. So me and my brother Marcus would help me deliver these papers. I actually got fired from that job because like, I was cool, man. We was out there delivering papers and we was getting it in, and then we would stop for a break and take a break, you know, at this this Blockbuster, and they had the N64 kiosk in there. And so we would just sit there. Once we got there, that was it for the night. We would sit there and play games until the sun went down. Then it was like, oh, it's dark, man. We can't deliver the rest of these papers. You know what I'm saying?
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And, you know, like, I used to get, yeah, man, just deliver the papers at night. I'm like, nah, son. Like, they never caught BTK out here. He's still out here lurking, man. I'm not going out at night. Right?
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Not doing it. Okay. So, yeah. So we ended up getting fired because people start complaining that they never got their mail. So I went in there one day and they were like, oh, actually, we have somebody else doing it now. Thank you. And I'm like, oh, okay.
We have somebody. That's the most politest way to fire anybody ever.
Oh, by the way.
Listen, you did a great job.
Don't worry about it anymore.
Don't worry about it. We got somebody covered for you. It's fine.
I'm like, oh, okay, bet. Cool.
Dan Bunch of Numbers said BTK. Nope.
Yeah, nah, man. And he was dormant during that time in the 90s, you know, and like he was active in the 70s, and you know, the 80s and 90s went by. People kind of forgot, you know, people got caught slipping. But then when I was in like 1st grade, so it was like 90, there was a famous story, a young lady by the name of, and she went to go get some 7-Up or something from the convenience store because somebody was sick, her brother or mom or someone was sick. She ran up there to get that and never made it back.
Oh,
and
shit.
I guess somebody had flagged her. She got in somebody's car and was never seen alive again. And they found her body like 8 months later, and she had been mutilated and, you know, sexually assaulted and all that stuff. Very terrible situation. And so in the 90s, like, then parents got scared again. And when the street lights came on, you better be on that porch.
To be in the house. Exactly.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even let my kid walk to the store.
For us, that's where a lot of that came from. Like,
going to be
street
there.
lights.
Yep. For sure. Yeah, Alex is not even allowed to walk to the store if it's looking like it might be dark soon.
People are weird out there.
They are.
Oh yeah, they're not getting any better.
No, they're not getting any better.
So what's these original Xbox games you got, man?
Mm-hmm.
He's very excited.
But
I'll be right back.
But yeah,
Bathroom is calling my name.
But anyway, I got the Kona, what are you doing? I got the Xbox in like 04, 05 because I was heavily into Star Wars at the time. Just going back, and that's part of the reason why I got my name, because I'm a huge Star Wars fan. But it was crazy. The original, as much as I love the PlayStation 2, the original Xbox had all the exclusive Star Wars games on lock. So that was the only way you could play Knights of the Old Republic or Republic Commando, games like that, or the Jedi Knight games. And so this game here, Jedi Knight, this is actually the 3rd game in the series, Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy. And I got back there also part 2, Jedi Outcast. Those 2 games, these are the best Jedi simulators like in existence, in my opinion. Still, the Fallen Order was pretty good on the PS4. That game was pretty good. The Force Unleashed games, they were okay. But again, this is a game that made you feel like you were in the role. And so you go from Padawan to Apprentice to full Jedi Knight to Jedi Master by the end of the game. And you can master, light side and dark side powers. And so I can lift somebody up with Force Grip and then shock them with lightning if I wanted to, or I can lift them up and then use Force Drain to suck their life force away, things like that. I can pull them to the ground and then hop up and stab them in the back for a one-hit kill, like just things like that. It was the game is crazy, and till this day, I don't understand why they couldn't recreate that formula. Like, out of all the games that I've played since, like, no game made me feel like Jedi more than the Jedi Knight games. So, really? In my opinion, those are my favorite on the system. And again, on a system that has a lot of great games, like Knights of the Old Republic, like Republic Commando. Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy, and its prequel, Jedi Outcast. Both of those games are fantastic. They have excellent storylines, which unfortunately are part of the not part of the Star Wars mythos. They're part of the Legends canon now. But yeah, definitely the Star Wars games on the original Xbox is what brought me to it. And again, they had a lot of sleeper hits that made me stay. So also I'll go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I have yet to play a Star Wars game on the Xbox.
Yeah.
So if you were to recommend one, which one would you? This is the one I gotta play.
Yes. Also, hold on.
I just want to say, while I have it up here, Gingerbeard, the gaming dad, Hartley. What's up, everybody?
What's up?
Hey, what's up? And Loco saying Revenge of the Sith on Xbox was also a good 2-player game.
Yes.
Oh, I like 2-player.
Yeah, so Revenge of the Sith. This is a game, of course, based on the movie. And it's kind of like a dry run of The Force Unleashed. It honestly plays a lot like The Force Unleashed, but just not as amped up.
Okay.
Of course, for me, the highlight of the game there, they had a 2-player fighting game mode in this game. And of course, the only fighting game we had before that was Masters of Terraskazi on the original PlayStation, which that game is not great. I do like playing it, though, but it's not a great game. But playing the 2-player mode on this, you can play as a bunch of Jedi and Sith from the era. And the fighting mechanics work really good as a 2-player like versus fighting game. And so I spent a lot of hours alone playing that mode. And I don't think a lot of people really know about that. They also have a bunch of like co-op missions that you can play together. So yeah, it's kind of like a hack and slash beat 'em up style game at its core. But yeah, Revenge of the Sith was actually a really good game. It's on the PlayStation 2 as well if you want to go that route. But again, I think it looks better and runs better on the original Xbox.
Yeah.
I don't know how this got mixed up there. On the PlayStation 2, you got to play Star Wars Bounty Hunter as well. Star Wars Bounty Hunter.
Nice.
This is a PlayStation 2. I think it's on the GameCube as well. This one did not come to the Xbox.
I think
sadly.
it might be.
But Star Wars Bounty Hunter is a fantastic game. You play as Jango Fett. And a lot of the gameplay mechanics, you can kill enemies or like bring them in alive, and you can capture enemies for bounty, and you can earn credits that way that you can use to buy stuff with and stuff. So that was a really good game. Again, it has a really cool storyline on how it tells the story basically of how Jango Fett was picked as the template for the Clone Army. And so they introduced a new Jedi that we've never heard of before. It was actually Count Dooku's first apprentice. Her name is Kamari Vosa. And she was his apprentice, but then she fell in love with him. So he kind of cast her while he was still a Jedi. She fell in love with him. So he's like, look, you can't be my apprentice anymore, and basically rejected her. And so she was hurt about that. But she ended up going on this mission with a group of other Jedi, and they were taking out these group of cultists. She actually got captured and was tortured and experimented on for several years, and that caused her to turn to the dark side. And then when she broke free, she actually took over the cultist group, and so now she's this dark Jedi who runs this criminal empire. But that's a problem for Palpatine and Dooku, because while they're trying to put the pieces in place so they can take over the galaxy, they got this group rising up. So Dooku's like, okay, I'm going to put a huge bounty out on her head, and anybody who's strong enough to kill her will also use that person as the template for the clone army. So that's how Jango Fett ends up. That's the story of the game, and Jango Fett kills her and casts her at the end. And actually, Dooku finishes her off, but he then makes Jango Fett the template of the clone army. Also, fun fact, he takes her lightsabers and he gives them to Asajj Ventress, who you might know from Star Wars The Clone Wars, like on Cartoon Network. So she was like the bad guy that had the two lightsabers. Yeah, so she's like the bald chick that has the two lightsabers. Those are Kamari Vosa's lightsabers from this video game. So after he kills Kamari Vosa, he takes the lightsabers and gives them to Asajj Ventress. So yeah, cool tidbit. But that's a great game. Battlefront, the Battlefront games like Battlefront 2 play better on the Xbox because you can switch the game into first person view, so you can play it like a first person shooter. You can't do that on the PlayStation 2. So that was really good. It's definitely much better playing this. Of course, you got the 480p, the Dolby surround sound, all of that good stuff as well.
Yeah.
This was Jedi Outcast that I mentioned, which was the prequel to Jedi Academy. But these two, this one and Jedi Academy, I would suggest getting. Of course, everybody knows about the Knights of the Old Republic games. These games were fantastic. Yeah. Anybody who wants to get into the expanded universe, I always suggest them they play this or read the literature surrounding the Old Republic first. Like, that's the story of Darth Revan and his redemption and all of that. Like, fantastic. What else do we got here? Of course, we talked about Republic Commando. This game, this I heard was getting a remaster on PlayStation 4. And if it does, really? I'm all here for that. Yeah, this was a first-person squad-based shooter that takes place. You play as clone commandos, and this takes place during the events of it takes place in between the events of Star Wars 2 and Star Wars 3. So adds a lot to the story. This one here, Star Wars: The Clone Wars. This is a pretty fun game too.
I got that. Yeah, we have that one for sure.
Yeah, for the most part, you commander like different vehicles, like different starships and stuff. But in certain sections, you get to get out. Like in the first mission, I remember I got to play as Mace Windu and run around with his lightsaber and slash people up, similar to how you got the Jedi hero characters in the Star Wars Battlefront games. So that's one that a lot of people don't talk about, but that one was a really fun game as well. So yeah, it's just a lot of Star Wars games that came out on the original Xbox.
And most of the Star Wars games are really cheap on the Xbox
most
game.
Of them are not
just
expensive.
So to get into it.
I'm actually been talking to Johnny Chase. I don't think he's still on the chat, but he sent me a pic there. He's selling a bunch of his Xbox games, and I picked out a couple of Star Wars games.
Yeah.
And we have a couple people in the chat saying, "Man, I love seeing that much Xbox." Iowa Retro Gamer Dad.
Oh, yeah, dude,
Xbox don't get enough love there, in my opinion.
Yeah. And Corona in a can saying same. Xbox is my go-to system.
Yeah.
And then Loco, this is the most awesome comment. These streams are extremely entertaining. Other streams, the longest I can stay is probably an hour at most, but here time flies. And it does for us too, because we'll be like,
well, yeah.
Oh my God.
I can't believe we held you hostage for that long.
Yeah. And then, and then they're like, no, we had fun. So yeah,
like I said, I'm here as long as you guys want to be here. I have tomorrow. I'm off on weekends, so it's whatever to me. I'm
exactly
out here. But yeah, the original Xbox, fantastic system.
Corona in a can said they just re-released Republic Commando on Switch and PS4, also Jedi Academy on Switch.
Okay, and that might be the system to get it on. Then hopefully the re-release will bring more attention to those games, and we can get actual sequels. So cool. Youngest son is named Anakin. That is awesome.
That is awesome. And then just Modan's talking about Dark Jedi. Yeah, but that is a Dark Jedi against the Sith. And
in regards to Kamari Vosa,
Yes, I love Battlefront 2 on OG Xbox.
Yeah, it definitely plays better bets on that.
Scotty J Retro sent me one of the Battlefronts, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you guys
sent me one
for the PSP?
I have about
we have a few.
Maybe 20 PSP games, maybe.
They've been easier to find lately. There was a time where we were having a hard time finding any, so we just kind of like gave up the ghost and we moved along.
Well, I got most of the ones I wanted,
that you wanted,
but there are still a handful that I want. They're a little bit pricier, especially for a PSP game. So, Gradius is one of them. Is it Ghouls and Ghosts, whatever? Ultimate or whatever it is. That one too.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters I want. And I think there might be a couple more. There's just a couple I remember off the top of my head.
No. Yeah, now I'm looking at it over
there. The PSP
breaking up. I can hear your cat.
Broke up for a second there. Say it again.
Okay, I was gonna say the PSP, they had some really good Star Wars games. Some of those are exclusive as well. So yeah.
Oh, nice.
They got some cool bats that let me see.
Iowa Retro Gamer Dad saying my wife wouldn't let me name him Han Solo. LOL. That would have been awesome. And Modan Designs wants to know, what do you teach and at what level? So I knew you taught, but not everybody in the chat might know that.
Do you want to refill?
Yeah, 6th grade science is what I teach. Technically, I'm still a para, which is like an assistant teacher, but I'm going through the Grow Your Own Teacher program so I could become an actual teacher. Eventually, I would like. So I'm going through the program to become a teacher. I'm calling the fence about this career choice now because I wanted to get the job in the school so I can be in and see if it's something I really want to do, if I can really, deal with the children and all of that stuff and all the BS that goes with teaching and enjoy it for the most part. But like I said, now that I'm getting more into photography and videography, I'm starting to wonder, like, man, I kind of want to go into business for myself and start a production company.
Yeah.
At some point. And so as of right now, yeah, I'm doing 6th grade science. I enjoy it. I actually went to school for music education because I wanted to teach choir at some point. But so yeah, I've been doing that for a couple of years and it's been fantastic. So
Modane has a good perspective, and I agree with this because I run a licensed daycare. It's not the kids, it's the parents. It can be the parents sometimes. Definitely can
be the parents. You know what? Out of all my issues with the school, none of them have been the kids. They really haven't. I've had issues with staff at the school for sure because there's a lot of staff. And it makes me wonder because I remember, getting in trouble with my teachers when I was in middle school. I'm like, man, was I really just a bad kid or was my teacher really a jerk? And I'm like, man, I think my teacher was really just a jerk. Like, where I deal with a lot of inner city kids, of course, and a lot of my, because actually people might just think it's all cornfield out here, but we have a pretty large metropolitan area that I live in. It's like 2 million people or whatever. So there's a lot of, inner city kids with inner city problems, but a lot of the teachers have a background of, living out in farms and like growing up in rural America. And so they really just can't relate to these children. And so even things like the children's mannerisms, things that make I see teachers like really get upset with kids. And at the end of, I see teachers, like grown adults really beefing with like 11-year-old kids, and they'll like hate these kids and hold grudges. And every time they see that kid, they get upset. And I'm like, wow, you really let a child do that to you? I've never been that way. Like I tell my kids right off the bat, like crazy. I don't have a loud voice and I don't like to raise it. So, I'm not going to yell at you, but I do expect respect at the same time. If you can't, if you can't behave, then that's fine. We just got to practice. If we got to practice during 5th hour, you sitting in your seat and things like that. That's cool, man. I'm here for you, buddy. And then another kid will be like, but Mr. S, 6 hour is lunch. And I'm like, exactly, lunch and recess. That's what we gotta do. And they're like, oh no, I'm cool. And that's usually all it takes.
That's just it. Yeah. I think anybody in this world just wants a little bit of respect. Some kids don't know how to get it appropriately sometimes.
Right.
But I don't know. You just got to find what works for that kid.
But you got to be patient.
I find that every day. You do.
Like you can't expect a kid that comes from a poor, broken home, in their adolescence, also going through puberty to have all their mannerisms in check. You can't expect that. Before I got an education, I worked at Krispy Kreme for 15 years, and I hired a lot of 16-year-olds, and even 16 and 17-year-olds, I would have to tell them to do things more than once, and it's fine. They're kids. You're supposed they're not supposed to get it the first time. You're supposed to be teaching them. I feel like a lot of these teachers expect these kids to already have it together, but it's no, they're 11 and they're going through puberty and they're trying to figure out who they are as people. It's fine. You're supposed to be there to guide them through that. And a lot of teachers just don't take that approach or have that mentality. And they honestly just don't have the patience to deal with it. So then they get to yelling at the kids and blowing up and trying to berate them in front of all the other kids. And then that kid flips out and start cussing the teacher out. And then that kid gets in trouble for being insubordinate. But it's man, if you talk to me like that, I would cuss your ass out too. So
that's just it.
It's man.
Check out the comment there.
Yeah, check out what Lightsaber
said. Made me laugh.
I know, man. Yeah, you know what? I sat there on the couch and I sat with you on the couch all afternoon, so you would leave me alone during the live stream. You know this to be true. Look at him looking at him. You know this is true. And he's sitting there. Yeah. And
like we had dogs on our last live stream.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, Milo is over there in the chair chilling, licking his.
Oh, we got a cat named Milo too.
Oh, really?
No. Yeah.
Yeah, we do. Awesome. Milo and Otis.
Yeah, he's a big kitty.
I got Milo and Kona back here.
And Kona?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, we have a question from Cronin Can. Said, what old games are you guys playing, and also new games you're playing?
Okay.
Yeah.
I said this earlier, but it might not have been here, but I'm playing Zelda 2 basically because I was motivated because I bought that sealed copy of it, right? So that's my old game, and I don't know if you would consider the new game Diablo 3 because we're playing it on the Xbox Series X, but it's an Xbox One game. That would be my new game I'm playing this week.
I struggle with playing older games.
She's not an older like she came out and said, I think on a live stream, I'm gonna play more retro games this year.
Yeah, you did say that. You did say that.
She's sucking at it like bad.
I did play.
I was like, yes, I'm gonna get my TV back. Go to the CRT and leave me alone here. No,
I did play more retro games than I had previously last year. So that
are you at least diving into original Xbox though? Because I remember you said that, and then Scott was like, Xbox is retro. It's 20 years old. So
I did play Still Life. I played Still Life. And then I also played, what did you make me play? What was the game I just played that you said you also want to play? Maybe it's not all that old.
That's 360 game. Devil May Cry.
Oh, never mind.
I don't know if I consider Devil like 360 retro yet. There, I like my retro to be 20 years. Right, 20-year vintage.
Yeah, 20-year vintage on my retro. Right. I have to put this comment up here. I hold grudges against my own kids.
Yes.
We do too. We do too. I'm like, remember that time like 2 months ago when I sat on the toilet seat and you didn't lift the toilet seat, and then I sat in what I didn't want to sit in?
Yes.
I'm still mad at you about that. Oh my God. Why can't he lift the toilet seat? Alex, why can't you lift the toilet seat?
I don't think he's on the stream anymore.
Damn toilet seat. That's it. That's all I want. And Modan's giving me a pass, so just leave me alone. Best intentions.
Best intentions.
Don't let her get away with it, guys. Call her out on it. Make her play some of these great vintage retro games. Don't do it. PS4 gen, that's not where it's at.
Logo's also telling me don't be ashamed. Play what gives you entertainment and never be ashamed for it.
Shame her. You guys are letting me down here. I don't know. I want my TV back. I want my TV back, guys. Help me out.
You're not helping them. Oh, man. So do we have any more games?
Well, yeah. How are you doing on games here on that big stack? You said you had 16.
Yeah, I think we went through them already. I've been adding games to the stack. I've been playing old game. I've been playing that I just got recently, and somebody had mentioned Bloody Roar earlier on the original PlayStation, and so I finally got Bloody Roar 2 in my collection.
Nice.
I've been trying to get this guy in my collection for a minute and found him at the pawn shop last week.
Isn't that a bit pricey?
This one's going up in price. He let me cop it for $20 though. So
wow.
That's nice.
Yeah, dude at the pawn shop, like that's my guy, and I do work for him too. Like I'll take photos for him for his page and stuff like that. So he'll hook it up every now and then, and so let me grab that for 20. So that's that's that I've been playing because I didn't really play this much back in the day, but I love the first one. And now I've got all of them in the series except for Bloody Roar Extreme.
I was literally going to ask you about that because I'm hunting for that one. That's one of the ones I'm hunting for.
It's the same game as Bloody. So after this, they came out with Bloody Roar 3 on the PlayStation 2. And then there's a fourth game in the series called Bloody Roar Primal Fury that came out on the GameCube. Bloody Roar Extreme is basically the same game as Primal Fury, except uncensored, because Primal Fury came out on the GameCube, so there's no blood or anything like that. But Bloody Roar Extreme brings
it
all of
even
that
has
stuff
bloody
back.
in the title. You need bloody.
Right, yeah, you can't have a bloody roar game with no blood. Like, so that's my issue with Primal Fury on the GameCube.
That
is that
is just
it's
roar.
There's no blood. So
it's just
I've been
roar
playing,
at that point.
Yeah, so it's just like I've been playing that. New games.
Yeah, Retro Wolf's in the house. Can't stay long. Just
hey,
Retro
Wolf, what's going
and then he's
on?
like,
Appreciate it.
I'm a moderator. Yes. So she doesn't keep the people in check. No, we don't have to.
That's right.
Modan games says I'm prettier than you.
Who?
Modan says I'm prettier than you, so I can get away with the.
Modan's prettier than me, or are you prettier?
I'm prettier. And then Gingerbeard, partly the gamer dad said it's not modern rivals.
Oh.
At least somebody's got my back.
I used to like you.
It's the got my back here.
Shots fired.
It's the beard.
It's the beard.
It's the ginger.
My beard, bro.
Yeah.
That's
well,
awesome.
if we're out of games, how about we start? Let's open up this comment, guys. Shoot off as many questions as you can here for the next little bit there before we end this stream. Because we're all out of games. We need some topics to talk about before we let them go. We got to hold them hostage as long as we can.
Well, Marcus Bolt wants to know: is anyone looking forward to the Streets of Rage 4 DLC that was just announced? Thought it was a pretty good game, nostalgic trip.
I did not know there was a DLC.
No. Rage 4, so I haven't gotten it yet, but I need to grab it before it disappears.
Are you a fan of the Streets of Rage series?
I am.
Yeah.
And again, I didn't own them back in the day, but the Streets of Rage series was one of the first games that like really got me into video game music. Like Streets of Rage 2, that soundtrack is so wavy. Like Yuzo Koshiro is he's the composer of the Streets of Rage games, and Yuzo Koshiro's stuff is fantastic. He's one of my favorite video game composers, like right up there with like Tommy Tallarico or like now I forgot his name. The Final Fantasy composer.
I don't know any of these names, so you're doing better than I am.
Yeah.
If you look at me, what do you think of the Streets of Rage 2
Nobu
soundtrack? I'm like, it's awesome. Who did it? I don't know.
Some guy, maybe a girl. We don't know.
Yeah, but I love his music, and that's one of the things I like about the Streets of Rage. The music is so like.
I got a question before people start pounding off questions for you here. What is, if you can name off one game right now that would be your favorite soundtrack, what would it be? I'll tell you what mine is.
I think mine's the same. Okay.
Favorite soundtrack. Damn, that's a tough one.
Favorite soundtrack.
Favorite soundtrack. It would have to be between Castlevania Symphony of the Night. That's
that's what she just whispered in my ear. She just like, it's Castlevania, but she put a little tongue in there and made it wet. Yeah, dude, I love Castlevania.
Yeah, dude.
That soundtrack, you could just play it. It just, it's killer.
Yeah, and
that game, you can put that game in a CD player and it'll just play the soundtracks, eh?
Yeah. A lot of PlayStation games you can put regular CD players and it'll just play the soundtrack. A lot of the Final Fantasy games that came out on PlayStation do that. And Nobuo Uematsu, of course, he's the main composer for the Final Fantasy games. He's got fantastic stuff. So I would say probably Final Fantasy VII is also a heavy contender for favorite video game music. But
another good one, I don't know if you've played it, is River City Girls.
Oh my God, that's a newer one, but it's got a great soundtrack.
Is there a physical copy of that, or is it just digital?
It's physical copy, but it's like a limited run physical copy. And if you like beat 'em ups, man,
you can get it on the Switch too.
I want to get it. I want to get it.
It's so awesome.
I'll have to start looking for that. I'd like to get it physically, but if it comes on sale, I might get it digital.
It's expensive physically, but we loved it so much digitally. We played
it digitally first.
Yeah.
On the Xbox One, and then I was like, well, I gotta get a copy of it. And she's like, well, I want it on PS4.
I can't tell you for how long I sang that intro song, just so like the first part.
It's
good.
It's a really good soundtrack there.
We have the video game professor checking in. Professor.
That's my guy, Joe Casey, right there. That's the Joe Casey. I was talking about you earlier, man. He's my partner in crime with the with the PlayStation VR.
He said he never heard Bloody Roar or even heard of it. A couple people before that were like really like saying that's awesome game.
Yeah.
Yo, Bloody Roar is so dope. Like, I'll have to showcase it. Maybe I'll live stream it tomorrow.
Gingerbeard, the gaming dad said it's a ginger thing.
That's right. You gotta stay together, man.
You gotta stick together. Yeah. Iowa, and I saw him ask this earlier, but we were like moving ahead so fast. I heard Samurai say cornfields earlier. Where is he from? Growing up here in Iowa, I see a cornfields daily. LOL.
Oh, I am in Wichita, Kansas. So that's where I'm born and raised. And yeah, we keep it flat out here too with the cornfields.
We'll keep it flat. Retro Rec is saying really cool series idea, y'all. Thanks so much, Retro Rec.
Thanks, man.
Thanks.
Heck yeah.
Do you know who Retro Rec is, man? He's
Retro Rec, man.
He's blowing up.
Yeah, he's blowing up out here.
Mine is on blown.
Him too. But
yes, it's crazy. Like I remember. Here's how crazy YouTube works. I had never heard of Retro Rec until he commented on our game room tour, and I was like,
I had heard, I think from Gaming Off the Grid had mentioned them.
Maybe they had mentioned them, but you hear a lot of channels mention. You're like, oh, I'll check that one.
And you forget.
Check that one out. And you forget. And then I was like, holy shit, he's at almost 30,000 subscribers. I remember that was then.
Yeah.
Now it's like what, 60?
Oh man.
Like, yeah, he's killing
it. Growing.
I remember somebody mentioned Retro Rick, and at first I was like, hell no, because I thought they meant Radical Rick. I'm like, oh, okay. I was like, no, I'm not fooling with him. But then I looked and I was like, oh, okay, this is a different guy. Okay.
Yes.
Radical Rick is.
Retro Rick he's like, it's so easy to watch. You're like, hey, well, give me a little bit more. Like, you can continue to watch it. What he does is just so, I don't know.
And for people in the
comes
chat,
across so great.
I assume you guys all know who he is, but he did this series of $10 video game collection challenge, I guess, there where he started off with a $10 bill or whatever, and built his game collection through thrifting and reselling in his game room. Man, it's pretty killer. He got a wicked collection.
Retro Wolf wants to know, is he just tripping or is there a cat in the background? There's a cat in the background.
He's always like
Retro Wolf has a great channel as well.
Yeah.
And then says looks like a Mancoon.
Yeah,
Maine
Coon, yeah.
Maine Coon. Is he? Don't look that big.
Yeah, no, he's not. He's like a runt. Like, very
disappointing. Dude, my cat's huge. He's a big kitty.
So yeah, he's a mini Maine Coon. Yeah, I'm talking to you, little guy.
Co-op Nerds, Retro Rivals. Have you guys heard anything about Man Eater DLC?
No.
I haven't. Nope, I haven't either.
No. Is it coming? You guys crack me up. We just do what we do. That's it. We're just us.
That's right.
Modan Design says, take a moment to reach out to the community and ask for help in finding a game you're looking to purchase. That is true. If you're looking, you're looking, somebody might have it, or they might have a double, which I see.
Right.
I've had people reach out to us or say, hey man, I got this if you're interested.
It's been awesome. Tommy Tillerico did the music to the Advent Rising on Xbox.
Yes, I love that. I love the main song on there called Bounty Hunter, where it's got the orchestral sound background singing in Italian. Oh my God. Yeah, the soundtrack for Advent Rising is absolutely superb.
Just got that game about a month ago.
Yeah.
I haven't played it yet, but
correct me if I'm wrong. Did Level 857 not have him on their channel? Tommy Tellerico? I'm pretty sure they did.
I've seen him on a few YouTubers' channels, so probably.
I'm pretty sure Level 857 has had them on or him on their channel.
Or you're just making up stuff.
No, I'm almost positive. Or I'm making
Tommy
it up.
Tellerico, he's been around since the days of the Genesis and SNES, making soundtracks and video game music. So yeah, he's a real OG in the game. I personally think that Advent Rising is his best work. And Advent Rising is such an underrated game on the Xbox. Honestly, it is my favorite game on the original Xbox.
Really?
I mentioned that in my last Hidden Gems video I did for Xbox.
I wonder if you're the reason why I bought it.
Maybe.
Perhaps.
Because I
It
showed
might
it off.
be.
I mean, if you like Halo, it's basically a third-person Halo, and then they throw in superpowers, like so you get telekinesis and things like that. So yeah, it's a fantastic game.
So you can blame him for when I buy games.
I don't need anybody to blame. You buy so many. We both buy so many games. It's ridiculous.
I only talk about cheap ones, though.
Yeah. Some of those cheap ones are the best friggin' games.
Yeah, because Avid Rising is still like a $5 game, but yeah, I try to only showcase cheap games for the most part.
That's a good idea.
Sometimes I gotta
flex. Attainable. They're attainable. Anyone else looking forward to the new TMNT game? Yes.
Oh yes.
I haven't 100%. Heard about it, honestly.
Oh my god,
dude! After the stream, go look it up.
It's gonna be so good.
It looks really
I'm gonna check it out. I love the one Platinum Games did a few years ago.
This has got that old '90s Ninja Turtle cartoon look to it there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm really digging it.
Controllers.
Not too much.
No, we don't either. It's the same thing.
Not really. I have one for the Wii U, that Zelda one.
I think it's along the lines with collecting anything in a steel book. If I start getting into that, it's going to become a thing where I have to have them all. So I can't even get started in that collecting controllers because it would get out of hand really fast.
Yeah. Like some of the unique ones that I've just like, but not because I was specifically looking for them.
Yeah. If I were to find something like on the cheap,
that's it.
I would,
especially
I'm not actively looking for anything really.
Iowa Retro Gamer Dad said he remembers joining up with Retro Rick at like 2K subs, and now was that like 6 months ago? He grew really fast.
Rick, man, he's good for him though.
Yeah,
he's working hard.
He is working hard.
Yeah, man. Retro Rick, you're giving hope to the rest of us out here.
Absolutely.
Making me feel like I too can one day be a YouTuber in the game.
Dude, I don't know how you don't have more because your knowledge blows me away. Like I feel like an idiot sitting here listening to you there with all the gaming knowledge there. You're naming off like the names of the people that did the music on the games and stuff. Like, I don't do that. I don't know. But it's like a good game.
Yeah,
good game.
It's not something I really think about. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't remember where I acquired it. Like, it's just there. Like, I don't know.
But you must love it. So at some point you looked it up or somebody told you about it and it stayed right in there.
Yeah.
It's like, this is my thing. That's what I love. It's staying in the compartment. Loco said, if you could eternal sunshine your mind about a certain game so you could experience it again for the first time, what game would you pick? I know mine.
We're breaking up. I hear you though.
I know what Jen's is. And give me a minute to think about it.
Mine's 100% The Last of Us. 100%. All day, every day. There's been no game like The Last of Us that I've ever played before, albeit I need to play more games, I guess.
Yeah.
But that game just sticks at me. It's like sticks on my soul.
That one's definitely up there. I really have a hard time. Yeah, I keep going back to the first Parasite Eve game there, like, because that was a game I played and you sat there and we watched it together, and it was that, like, before that I only played like beat 'em ups and sports games and stuff like that and shooters, and so for getting into that, it was a big story. It was kind of horror based, almost survival horror. That Parasite Eve is one of my top 5 games for sure. I don't know. It's a tough question. Series. Yeah, I just remember that. I remember experiencing that back then, and I think we played it probably in 2000.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh wow, I didn't know games could be like this.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah. For me, I would say probably any of the Metal Gear Solid games, just because the stories, like, I was always left just jaw to the floor,
wanting more.
With all the twists and turns and the intrigue. You know, like the plot twist in that game is crazy, and they weave like this storyline like over the course of the franchise since 1987 when the first game came out. Like all the references and everything, like they, especially Guns of the Patriots, because for the most part they tied all the loose ends together very nicely in that game. That's also why that game was more storyline and cutscenes than it was actual gameplay, but it was a lot of stuff they had to bring together. And by the time I finished that game, I was just bravo. That
Really,
game, I remember in particular when I played Red Dead Redemption for the first time, that was a game I didn't want to end. I remember I felt like I was getting close to the game, especially when you start doing all the missions where you're just chilling with his son and like teaching his son how to do stuff. I'm like, man, I'm getting to the end here. Like, so I kind of slowed down and I didn't want to finish the game just because I didn't want it to be over. But that was definitely a game I would love to go back and experience fresh for the first time.
For the first time. Yeah. I have to play both of those. Red Dead Redemption's on my short list too.
Either. Yeah.
No, Red Dead Redemption is a phenomenal game.
What do we have here? Oh, Modan wants to know. I see you like Bloody Roar. Have you explored Guilty Gear?
Yes, I have played Guilty Gear on the PlayStation 4. It's called Guilty Gear Xrd Revelator Part 2. That's my favorite game in the series. It's done by Arc System Works. So they started doing this thing where I don't know if you guys have played Dragon Ball Fighters or it's Dragon Ball Fighters or Fighter Z, however you want to pronounce it.
No.
Yeah, when they fight and then they bust out like a special combo and it just turns into this animated cutscene like in real time, like just the way it seamlessly blends between that, like absolutely beautiful games. And the new Guilty Gear games do that. I played the first Guilty Gear. The first Guilty Gear I played, I think, was on the PlayStation 2. And I remember just the art style of Guilty Gear, like it was like a cartoon in motion. Like I've seen beautiful like 3D, like King of Fighters and Street Fighters. Those are some nice looking 2D, games, but Guilty Gear was on a whole nother level. Like, you see the other ones like, oh, it's cute, it's cute, but Guilty Gear really looks like cartoons in motion. Like I love the art style of Guilty Gear. The music in that also fantastic. It's a cool heavy metal soundtrack, all original music. The guy that made Guilty Gear, he made the game. He designed the characters. He like made the game. He wrote the music. Like he made the entire game by himself, like the original Guilty Gear. Like it was phenomenal. So yeah, I definitely love the Guilty Gear, and that's a series that not a lot of people like mention. Like when they talk about the great 2D fighters, like but Guilty Gear,
it's not up there with like the Street Fighter.
It's not, but it should be.
And stuff like that. It should be.
Street Fighter had that cultural impact, so you just really can't topple that. Like we mentioned, Street Fighter 2 coming out back in the day, and that really like set the tone for all games to follow in the genre. But Guilty Gear really brought something new to the genre when those games were kind of dying out. Because when first Guilty Gear came out, everybody had kind of moved away from 2D fighters. For the most part, we were all playing like Tekken and Battle Arena Toshinden or whatever we was playing. But then Guilty Gear came out, and yeah, it was crazy. So. Yeah.
El Tiburon wants to know, what are you drinking? Nothing.
Now, yeah, my cup is empty.
Drinking a stout. Halfway through
it.
Let me see here. What else do we have? Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat?
I'm going Street Fighter on that one.
I'm going Street Fighter. I loved Street Fighter. Are you gonna
when I think of this stuff, I go back to the arcades because that's where I first experienced it, and I played it a lot. And I played Street Fighter in the arcade when it came out. Like it was crack.
But you do love Mortal Kombat too.
Yeah, but I've it's gotten to the point where there's so many move combinations, button combinations for those moves that I just suck at Mortal Kombat now. I'm just button mashing away. So.
Right, yeah, it definitely changed a lot over time. Like,
oh yeah,
Joe Casey also says
picking The Last of Us Part 1
to experience
with me.
fresh.
Yeah, it was a good game. It was one of those games where we didn't want it to end. Really, we're like, this is getting close to the end.
Yeah. Gernaldino said, "Great question, Loco. I'd like to play the Gears of War games again. The original trilogy storyline had me hooked and loved the gameplay."
Yeah, Jen.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. It can't all be the Last of Us. We have Gamer Aimer in the house.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, Gamer Aimer. Alpha Nerd saying Red Dead 1 is the best game ever made.
Oh,
it definitely
Guilty Gear
is.
is awesome. Even on DS.
On the DS. I didn't even know it was on the DS.
I
didn't know either.
I don't know.
Super Mario said most underrated game is Enslaved.
Enslaved Odyssey to the West. Yeah.
Yeah. The characters are so well done.
Picture that. Why can't I picture that?
Yeah, man. Enslaved.
I'm almost positive we have it. But I don't know if I'm just thinking of the title and I put it in to a app at some point.
So there's Enslaved Odyssey to the West.
No. I don't have it.
We've seen it though.
Now
we've seen it. Okay.
No,
it's just like playing it.
No, we've shut up. We've seen it just recently at a store. Just recently, it was either at Spin It.
Why didn't you buy it?
Or Randy had it. Randy and Travis. Nerdful things. Yeah, I was trying to think, but I'm
still a cheap game,
positive.
Especially on
it is.
Yeah.
And yeah, that fantastic game. It's a modern retelling of the classic story Journey to the West. And yeah, it's it's such a great game. Honestly, there's a lot of it reminds me of The Last of Us 2, especially in the level design.
Oh, really?
Kind of like it's in a post-apocalyptic world, but it's not like bombed out like Fallout. It's like very lush and green and like nature's kind of taken back over. After humanity
on your must-buy list now.
Maybe.
It's definitely a must-buy game. You guys will not be disappointed playing that.
Cool.
Most frustrating game I've ever played. Games that make you want to throw the controller through the roof. Actually, like I've played a lot of like retro games, in my time. I'm sure a lot of us have, and there's a lot of like. Yep. Whether it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the first one, or Battletoads or whatever. But man, let me tell you, so I was going to mention this because this is definitely another game that shaped me, the Grand Theft Auto trilogy. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But man, every one of these games has some kind of mission where you're controlling like some kind of remote control helicopter or plane or something. Those are the worst missions of all time. Like, oh my God, like in San Andreas in particular, the missions you do for Zed with the little stupid RC plane and you're like, you got to do it like super fast because you're running out of fuel and stuff like, oh my God, I almost didn't finish the game because of that. Like those were terrible missions.
Recently, I played Crimson Skies, and the second last mission when you're underground going through the tunnels.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I almost quit that one. I was like this far away. I had to go. I took a break. I went and had something to eat, and then came back a couple hours later.
I think I even said that to you. Maybe you're hangry.
I was hangry for sure.
For me, and anybody that's watched the channel will know. Fucking Nintendo game. I can't help it. What's it called again? I'm even deleting it from my memory because I don't even want to talk about it anymore. Adventure Island.
Yeah.
I'm serious. I sat down here for 8 hours one day, getting myself didn't take me 8 hours to get back to the spot that I had stopped at.
I'm gonna beat this today.
I was gonna beat it today, and I went upstairs almost in tears, and I said to him, "You're gonna need to come down and turn this damn game off because I can't physically do it, Scott. It is going to break my spirit. You're gonna have to come turn it off."
I had to go turn it off because you didn't.
I couldn't. I was just continuing to play, but my eyes were so tired from looking at the screen.
-2, and there's like like two levels left to finish.
I couldn't do it. I'm still I still can't make myself pick it back up. It's still too fresh. The wounds are still too fresh. No, I'm not selling it. I love it.
Yeah.
See, it's like I have some sort of I'm like my captor's got me, and I'm like fully in now. Like I hate him, but I love him. So I can't. It's just I don't know. Someday, not today.
You're caught up on the stream, Jen.
I am.
Wow.
Oh, caught up.
This dude.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hey.
Video game with Professor said Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners is up there with the first Last of Us, and so is Resident Evil 7. Absolutely.
Oh, Resident Evil 7
Resident
is
Evil
awesome.
7 is awesome.
I've never played The Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners.
We may have it though.
Really?
Yeah. I feel like those may be like more story games, like Telltale games. I know they have a Telltale series. Is that part of it?
Yeah,
I wonder.
I don't know.
I think it might be, but I'm not 100% sure. Just finished The Last of Us 2, enjoyed it, and maybe move on to Ghost of Tsushima next. That's a really good one.
I have to get back into it and finish it. Well,
I heard a lot of good things
into
about Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah. I haven't grabbed it yet, but now that I'm collecting PS4, I'm definitely going to scoop it up in the very near future.
I got it. I just have to commit the time to get in there and play it.
Video game.
Maybe if I get my TV back.
Shut up. GTA is notorious for breaking controllers.
Yeah, man. F those airplane missions.
We're working
the one in Vice City.
And
oh my God, and that like construction site. Yeah, man, where you got to plant the little bombs. That mission was freaking awful. Like
every time I see GTA San Andreas, I can't help but say, all you had to do was follow the damn train.
All you had to do was follow the damn train. Like, yeah, that mission, like, that was a tough one too.
Yeah. And gaming professor is saying, I'm waiting on Ghost of Tsushima.
Get under 20?
I have to say it properly because our friend told us you don't say
Tsushima.
it. Tsushima.
There's no T.
Yeah, the T is silent.
Like sushi.
Yeah.
It is.
So it's Tsushima, yeah.
But
that's a good idea. Considering I haven't played it either, I might as well wait for it to drop because it's not a game that I don't think it's gonna just like disappear off of store shelves.
No, I don't think so.
It'll drop to the bargain bin before it does, so I'll probably catch it then too.
Oh God, yeah. I wish we could go back and just do that ourselves. We bought it launch day, and then
got distracted.
Yeah.
And then ended up not playing it for a while. Yeah, see, that's...
Yeah, so at that point, we might as well have waited.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. Last of Us 2, we played immediately.
But you know what? Their day one, we put that in, and it seemed to work. Like, there was no glitches.
No,
it looked beautiful. It plays well. I never had any problem there for the little bit of time I put into it. So.
Yeah, it was definitely a great launch game.
Days Gone, because I just got it recently, and... hopefully, it'll download some patches and it'll play okay. But yeah, that was another one. And that game, that's a weird game that fluctuates in price. Days Gone, like
it does.
It came out expensive and then it dropped, I guess, because the bugs, and then it got a patch. So I think the price shot back up because of that, and then it dropped again. And so I ended up getting it for $17.99. And so when I saw it at that price, I was like, man, let me go ahead and grab it.
I think we got it for $20.
I think it was around that. Around that, yeah. If aliens touched down and wanted to know what gaming was all about, what console and game would you show them?
PS4.
Yeah, probably PS4 or PS2.
I was going to say that PS4 or PS2 because PS2 is still
like
the highest selling console.
It's like PS2 won that.
And what about what game?
Console war, and then PS4 absolutely won that war.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Like if I was gonna show them a really good time, okay? They coming down, they said, Lightsaber, show me a good time. Okay. No, I'm not talking to you, boy. Get away from me. So I would show them the PS4. Okay, I would plug them into the PlayStation VR and we would play Senran Kagura Peach Beach Splash. Okay.
Never heard of it.
Special edition, no shoes, no shirt. All service edition, okay?
Okay, wait.
I think I need to get a VR, Jen.
Wait, does this game come with cards? Because I swear that's the same game that we saw. What's his name? Remember, he was looking at the cards on his.
I think it does. Let me see.
Like game cards, you can only look at one side, but the other side, like beyond useless
gaming. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He'll have me cracking up. But I think it was a Switch. No, it wasn't a Switch.
I don't know what it was, but he was like, "I'm looking at the good side of the cards, and you're looking at the card with the clothing side."
Oh my god! Yeah.
I don't know if it was that.
This is an art book. I've never actually looked at this art book before. Oh my god! I can't show this on the stream. I can't show it. Holy crap! But yeah, there's a mode where you can play this game in VR. So
I think we're gonna have to end the stream soon.
So you can spend some time with your art book.
But you know what? Like, that's a guilty pleasure of mine. I do like collecting games like this, like, and when I see them, because I'm just like, like, oh, that's a naughty game. Like, yes. I don't know. Like, there's something about it. Like, I just gotta collect them. Like, when I see them. Galgun is another one. They mentioned imports earlier, and that's a fun import to play on the PlayStation Move. Galgun, the first one came out only in Japan on the PlayStation. It's a light gun game, and it seems to play like really good, but you know, it's got kind of this type of visuals in it, but it's a game I always want to try. So
that's awesome. Anyone have game regrets that they let go?
Regrets.
Well, the problem is, I when I was younger, I traded and just kept trading up to the next new console. So lost everything, and then I had to reacquire everything. Yeah.
I think it's more game regrets we passed up on.
That burns a bit more because when you see the prices of some of these games just go astronomical here, like there was original Xbox games I should have bought back when I started collecting that have just skyrocketed now.
Psychedelica on the PS1,
someone's selling that
Kudelka,
no. What? Somebody we know is selling that said you might be interested in this one and sent me a picture of it.
Kudelka?
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'd love to have that.
A good price,
I don't know if he still has it.
If it's a good price.
I don't know if he still has it, but I'll ask him. Man.
Yeah.
We were supposed to.
Sure,
I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but that's how I say
Kudelka.
Kudelka. Yeah, that's how I pronounce it as well.
Yeah. People will be thinking on the stream that this guy's an idiot.
It'd be like that. I fairly recently, I had a Haunting Ground on the PlayStation 2, and I sold it. Yeah. I sold it to buy a Canon M50. So I was upgrading my camera gear at the time, and this popped up on Facebook Marketplace at a crazy low price, and I was a few $100 short. And I'm like, man, like. I played through Haunting Ground and, played it. And, so I just bit the bullet and sold it. I'm like, man, I kind of regret it because of the big three, like horror games on the PS2, that being Kawan, Haunting Ground, and Rule of Rose. Haunting Ground is the only one worth playing. Like, I don't know if anybody's a fan of Rule of Rose or Kawan, but they're not great games. They're
just expensive games.
I used to own Rule of Rose, and the graphics are fantastic. The storyline is phenomenal, and it's a cool game in the sense that they dive into some really dark territory. Like, it takes place in an orphanage, like with underage girls, and so there's themes of abuse and stuff that you don't really see in video games. It wasn't even supposed to get released in America, but Atlas localized it at the last minute, but they did it in smaller quantities. So it was a game that was always supposed to get rare. And it had all the makings to be a great game, but the gameplay was kind of trash. Like, combat in the game was stiff and like not fun, but like Haunting Ground is actually a fun game to play. And it also has fantastic graphics and a fantastic story. And so of those, that's the only one worth owning, in my opinion, unless, of course, you can get the other ones for a cheap price. But Haunting Ground, I would shell out the money for. So that one I thought was really good.
Not something I necessarily regret, but maybe something that would have been cool to have. But honestly, by the time I even messaged him about it, it was gone. Somebody had a collection of NES games that were like all
I know what you're talking
crazy expensive NES games, and he was asking $2,500 or best offer. Little Samson was in the lot. and all these like 3, 4, 5
heavy hitters.
And
on
he was
NES.
what he was asking for it was you were getting a value. You were getting a value at all the games he had there because they were all expensive games.
Yeah. It's just to have that $2,500.
Yeah, just like having the 25 up front. Like, man, can we work out a payment plan? Like,
yeah.
So I asked about it, and then 5 minutes later, it was sold.
It was already gone.
Yeah,
man, that's wild.
Somebody bought it.
Pounced on it.
Either collector got it first collection, or somebody's gonna sell it off piece by piece.
Retro Rivals or Lightsaber Samurai. Either of you have a Jade Cocoon game in your collection? Always had fun with number 2. Not sure what it's worth nowadays.
Yeah, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, Jade Cocoon is Andre put me on the Jade Cocoon back in the day because he had the original one on the original PS2. I never owned the games. He used to play it all the time, and so that one, like, you collected monsters sort of like Pokemon, if I remember, like, because you could collect creatures to help you in combat. But the second one, I think that one's hovering around like 40, 50 now. It's not like crazy expensive, like it's still attainable. So I might have to add that one to collection. The original Jade Cocoon is one PS1 game I'm looking for. That one and Silent Bomber. If I can find those two, then I feel like
I've seen Jade Cocoon. I don't know if I've seen it at a shop. We don't have it.
No, I know we don't have it.
No, okay.
No, I know I don't have it.
Yeah, I know I don't. Like, but it's definitely one of the ones I would like to add at some point.
For me, it's not the name that I remember, it's the covers.
Yeah, you remember the covers.
Isn't that crazy? I have 1,100 games, and then it's just, do you have this game? I'm like, I don't know, show me the cover. And I see the cover, and I can tell her yes or no, and where it is. It's weird.
Video Gaming with the Professor is saying all my Saturn and N64 games. And then he said regrets on buying bootleg Sega Dreamcast games.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You know what? We have our, what is it called on the NES there?
The EverDrive?
EverDrive, and I don't regret that. That's a little different. I know that
gives me the ability to play little Samson.
But I love the idea of being able to put that cartridge in there.
Yeah, and at this point,
we can play it on original hardware.
Doing it that way, like, I'm fine. With that. Like, because I'm not going to shell out the money. Like I said, if I find it cheap, then cool. But I mean, and even on the Dreamcast, like, Dreamcast games are expensive. There's a guy here in town that makes some good repros, and I want to buy some from him. Watch out, and then do a video over it because. Like, he's got, like, he can make you like Half-Life, because the original Half-Life was supposed to come out on Dreamcast and got canceled at the last minute. There's also like a game where you play in an airplane. I can't remember. It's like a fighting game, like a dog fighting game, and it was completed, but it got canceled at the last minute because in one of the missions you play in New York. And you can actually fly your plane into the Twin Towers.
Oh, wow.
The game
That'll do it.
in 2001 after September 11th happened. So they was like, nope.
Yep, had to cancel it.
And so there's games like that, you know, on the Dreamcast that he can make. And I wouldn't mind him making me a copy of like Ben Gaio and things like that. Cannon Spike. You know, some of the heavy hitters on the Dreamcast, like, I'm cool with it. It's not like I'm gonna try to resell them, you know.
No, it's just to be able to experience.
Someone might buy it. Like, if I just sold it like, hey, $20 for this repro, like, I would buy it for $20.
Yeah.
Like, if it played right in my Dreamcast like it's supposed to, like, yeah, I would do that. So
that makes sense. Scotty J Retro said mine was Mega Man Legends 2 and the Misadventure of Tron Bon.
I don't know Tron Bon.
Yeah.
No, they're great games. I love the Mega Man Legends series. We were supposed to get a third one. It didn't happen. It almost came out on the 3DS, but then they had a falling out. The creator did with Kenji Inafune had the falling out with Capcom, and then that's where we got Mighty Number 9, which is a far inferior game. But,
yes. Not good.
Video Game Lover 58 saying, hey, hello to everyone. Hey there.
VGL, what's going on, man?
And I think we will answer this last question and then maybe
wrap it up. Give you your safe word.
Safe word.
I'll let the hostage go.
What's the most valuable game in your collection?
Well, ours is our sealed Zelda 2 on the NES.
Yeah, mine's actually might be Blood Will Tell, because I think Blood Will Tell is hovering around like $350 now. I think this one might be my most expensive game in my collection. So, like I said, I don't collect a lot of like 4th gen stuff. Most of my collection starts at PlayStation and then goes up from there. So I
Yeah.
have a few like Genesis games and stuff like that, but none of them are super expensive. I got like Hyperstone Heist, and I got like Rocket Knight Adventures and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I do too. Yeah.
Do you know what though? Like as much as I missed out on that collection, the $2,500 one that he was selling all those, I don't know at what point that NES bubble bursts too. Like you had mentioned in a video, with Atari bursting. Right. When does that bubble burst? And all the like my investments, like.
I don't think my son is going to be actively pursuing NES games when he's my
right.
age.
Exactly.
No, and that's
that
it.
Point, like, if there's still anybody around who's collecting that stuff, they'll be able to get it for cheap because people who are hoarding that stuff and hoarding doubles with the hopes of cashing out, like they're not going to be able to do it if they wait too long.
Yeah.
And like I said, it definitely happened with the Atari 2600. That being said, though, I was thinking about later consoles, like maybe 6th gen, but definitely 7th and 8th gen consoles. When those games start to go up in price, they might stay there. And I say that because the 9th generation may be the last time we get physical games.
I agree. I agree.
Because of that, you know, like the deals, the issues with a lot of these older games is they've been remastered so many times, they've been added to collections on this system and that system and that system. So I mean, you know, playing like Mega Man 2, for instance, or what's the expensive one? Is it Mega Man 6 on the NES? Or I think that's what it is. Whatever it is, Mega Man 6, like playing it on the NES is not the only way you can get it. There's the Mega Man Anniversary Collection on the PS2 or the one on the Xbox One and the PS4 and the Switch, and like there's a lot of ways you can play these games.
To play games, exactly,
in a physical format, not necessarily just through emulation. So that coupled with the fact that a lot of gamers won't be looking for them, like I think that's why we see the bubble burst with these older systems. But like I said, when it comes to PS4 games 20 years from now, like, you know, like the only way to play them might be still on a PS4.
That's
true.
So that's true.
So that's what I'm heavily collecting for 7th gen, especially because I think like those games, like the PS3, we might see the PS3 turn into the Dreamcast.
I feel like it might, because there's no way of emulating it very well.
You can't emulate those games, right? Even 6th gen stuff is hard to emulate well, you know.
We've really been keeping our finger on the pulse of what's seeming to rise lately on the PS3 and Xbox 360, especially the PS3. Try to get it, before it just becomes impossible to get for us.
I think it's going to happen within the next 6 months because everybody's talking about it, and as soon as the PlayStation store closes, it's going to skyrocket.
I think so.
We saw it with like DuckTales on the PS3 when they removed it from the store. That game shot up in price. It went back down in price because it got added back. But now the store's about to close again, so
that's true. Andy DeHaan saying Rule of Rose for him.
Yeah, like I said, I would like to have it just because it's a high dollar. As a game, I don't miss it.
Video gaming with Professor. Mine's probably my Sealed Devil's Third or Sealed Gears 5.
Oh yeah.
Jack Drone. And Gernaldino saying, I don't have many expensive games, but I do have Mega Turrican on the Mega Drive. Yeah, that's getting up there for sure, too.
Yeah.
And Cronin again saying, I got Soul Silver with the Poke Walker in the big box, so that's still going up, too, in price. That's my highest one. Yes, that one is going up in price, too.
Yeah.
And I have 800 PS3 games.
Wow. You're set.
You're set.
Yeah. Joe Casey's been, he was collecting like back in the day, like, and I remember when I first found his channel and he was showing like all the GameStop was blowing him out for 4 for $10 and stuff like that, and so he was really building it. And when I saw his videos, that's when I started to get into it. So so my PS3 collection is solid, my 360 collection is solid. I got a pretty decent Vita collection back there as well, and my PSP games, like I got like 50 a piece or something like that. So I got a lot of sleepers in my collection because they haven't shot up in price yet, but I got a lot of sleepers like 3D Dot Game Heroes and stuff like that. That'll probably be, several $100s a piece, like, 5 years from now. But like I said, just because my collection is newer, I don't have a lot of expensive stuff yet.
I picked up one not all that long ago, and I picked it up for a pretty decent price, $20-$30. Majin.
Oh, on the PS3.
Yeah, Majin, and that, that's
the Forsaken. Yeah. That game's like $50 now.
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's Canadian complete for like $60-some, and I was like, holy shit! And I know I didn't think it.
It's like
it just shot up in price
randomly.
It's crazy.
Randomly, I don't know. Like, did someone die or like what happened? Like,
I have no idea.
Because that's another game that was like $8 here in town. I saw it all the time for both systems. I think I have it on both systems. I know for sure I got it on PS3 because that's the one I reviewed, but I think I got it on 360 too.
Hasn't gone up on the 360 a whole lot, but on the PS3 it has.
And like I'm telling you guys, like if you're trying to get these games, man, the 360 might be the way to go at this point. For some of them,
Xbox is always a little bit cheaper.
Alex is saying that the Soul Silver is going for almost 300 Canadian in the box.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
And then Gaming with the Professor said 600 360 games.
Nice.
And he definitely collected big for during the 7th
gen. Man, that's for sure. Like even if you got to grab them loose, whatever the case, like it's 360, he has just over 700. Wow. Yeah, that's wild. Like I said, I thought I was doing good. I got about 200 a piece for 360 and PS3.
My PS3 probably around the 100 area, maybe a little bit more on the 360.
Yeah. Marcus is saying, great stream, guys. Look forward to these get-to-knows and also going to enjoy checking out Lightsabers Samurai.
Absolutely.
Yes, please do.
Yeah,
please
guys.
do.
Yeah,
He's
definitely.
got a
like
great
my videos, they're almost as good as Retro Rivals. So
your videos are fantastic, and your camera work is great. So don't sell yourself short at all. On that note, I think we've reached the end of the stream.
Do it.
Yeah.
Safe word.
Let's do it. Safe word. Yeah. What did we say the safe word was? Banana?
Yeah,
I think so.
Jen loves banana.
Banana.
Every time. All right, guys. Well, thank you.
Thanks for watching, guys. Thank you, Lightsaber Samurai, for
I appreciate it, guys. I appreciate hanging out with you tonight.
Yes, we had
it was a lot of fun. It was fun.
And it felt like the time just flew by.
It does, we've been at it for almost 3.5 hours. So
I know.
Holy crap, yeah.
That's crazy.
That's awesome.
Wow. All right, guys.
See you next time.
All right. Peace, guys.
See ya.